Crypto. Home. Take me home.
Superman.
Greetings and salutations. Welcome to a very spoiler-heavy review of the new film known as Superman, directed by James Gunn, starring David Cornsby, Rachel Brosnahan, Nicholas Hoult. Wait a minute. Beast from X-Men is now playing a billionaire villain known as Lex Luthor? What is happening? No, wait, it's cool. Actors play different roles all the time. But he's in it, and then there's a CGI dog. He's just not a very good one. But we'll talk more about that later. I am your host and one of the biggest Superman fans you're going to find anywhere around the world. My name is Ryan of Van Echo Channel, and boy, am I excited to finally be able to sit down and talk about this movie. I finally got a chance to see it last week in theaters. That's right, in a theater. Saw it with a group of people. It was fun. It was enjoyable, but we'll talk more about that in a bit. I'm not alone in talking about this film that is making tons and tons of headlines for good reasons too, not bad ones. No. It's been 13 years since we've had a solo Superman movie, and now he's finally back where he belongs, on the big screen in front of a live audience, millions of people watching around the world, millions of people chanting this hero's name, and this is the character that we need. This is the Superman that we wanted. This is the Superman that we deserve, and the cast and crew have done a good job thus far. It's very early in the process here of this new DCU, but we're going to talk more about what the future is going to be for this Superman series of films and the DCU moving forward. But before we get into that, please welcome our panelists. First off, is he our enemy, or the enemy of my enemy is my friend? Is he my nemesis? What's the plural on that? Nemesis. Anyway, no. His name is Nem. What's up, man? How you doing?
Hey, what's going on, everybody? It is a pleasure to see you again. I met you for the first time, I think, a week ago yesterday. So, but very happy to be here. My name is Nem, a.k.a. David Howard, but everybody calls me Nem now, including my wife, which is a little strange.
Wow.
I'm a comic book writer, a novelist. I write short stories. I also do my own lettering and coloring on my comics, and graphics artist and video design. So, and podcast hosting. So I do a little bit of everything. But really happy to be here. Huge DC fan. I do like Superman, but I'm just a DC fan in general. Superman's not my favorite DC character, but I love Superman. So put that out there just like that.
It's all good. All right, we know where he's going to be tonight. You're going to put him in a corner. Get him out of here. No, I'm just kidding. You're fine. You could stick around. In the words of our good friend Arnold, stick around. Also join us from the Madness Entertainment Group, a member of the Madness Brother. Yeah. Please welcome a gentleman who wears a cowboy hat like no other. The man himself, the man, the myth, the legend, the cowboy, the outlaw. Dustin is in the hizzy for shizzy manizzy. What's up, Dustin? How you doing?
Not a whole lot. Just hanging out. Look forward to talking with y'all. You know,
there it is.
Good stuff.
I knew that cowboy character was going to come out at some point. It's fantastic. I knew it was coming, man. I knew it was coming. So in the words of the Old West, saddle up, Dustin, saddle up. It's all good, man. We're happy to have you here. Also join us someone who was very enthusiastic when he got the call. He got an offer. He got a contract. We sent it over to him. He signed it very enthusiastically. Please welcome Paul Landry to the stands. Hello, Paul. How you doing?
Hey, doing good.
Great. That was an introduction. All right.
Yeah, I know.
I didn't see that one.
I didn't
coming.
know if you had any more preamble prior to that, you know?
Yeah.
So I'm Paul Landry. I'm the co-author of Return of the Crimson Howl, out now on Amazon. I am also a voice actor who will be performing at Dragon Con this year in Atlanta on, what is it? I think the 30th. Yeah. So that's when we're going to be doing the Golden Age Action Hour, the works of Joe Simon and Jack Kirby, which is what my co-author and I have written some adaptations of their early creations, the Vagabond Prince, the Black Owl, and the Blue Bolt. And I can't not mention that without, a big thank you to Mr. Harry Mendrick, who made that very possible. So, Uncle Bud, if you're watching this, thank you.
Wow, a lot of great things coming to everybody's neck of the woods. That is for show. Also joining us is a gentleman who apparently is very good at marketing because he knows how to brand not only his backstage and his background of his studio. He knows how to wear clothing very well. He's got a new suit. He's got a new look, a new kind of studio, if you will. Please welcome from All Star Fandom himself. Dion is finally back where he belongs. What's up, man? How you doing?
What's up? I just like to coordinate, man. That's all. That's it. Blue shirt, blue light. It's what happens. But no, it's been a while, Ryan. A lot of things happen in life. Got a kid now.
Yeah.
From one room to another. Paul, I'm going to Dragon Con too. I'll be there. So hopefully I'll see you there. It's a quite a daunting task.
Dragon Con is work now, and it has been for many years. And I literally only go to perform and then I go home.
Oh, okay.
I literally have my wife drop me off at the hotel
exactly
that we're going to perform at, go do my performance, and then get the hell out of there because it's like too many drunk nerds in one place.
Too many parties.
It's a task. I got friends coming down for it. We're going to it.
Really?
We maybe make 3 days out of that whole weekend. So that's fine for us.
Okay.
But yeah, good to be back, Ryan. Good to meet everybody too.
Yeah, and congratulations on the newest addition to your family. That's fantastic. Congrats.
Appreciate
Wonderful. Yeah, now you get to become the Jor-El, and then the youngin becomes Kal-El. So there you go. You got some stories.
Depends on what story we use here.
No. This is the version where the dad and mom don't die. So you're gonna live for hundreds and hundreds of years. You'll be just fine. It's not gonna end up like in the comic books where Krypton explodes and Jor-El and Lara are gone.
Or he just has a new purpose. But that we'll get into that.
Whatever. Semantics. But you'll be fine. You and the newest addition to your family are gonna be just fine. Also joining us is a kind young man who we plugged earlier today on the latest episode of Anti-Quotes. So this gentleman, you may want to go back and watch the tape because your name was mentioned quite a few times and your website was plugged. I think a total of like 4 or 5 times during that show that we had earlier today on the Anti-Quote with Kevin Davis was on the show. So you may want to go back and look at that. But anyway, please welcome a kind gentleman who also is really good at wearing hoodies and beanies and branding himself as well. Brian the Man Rodman is finally back where he belongs. What's up, good sir?
Hey man, how you doing? Thanks for having me. It's I'm excited to talk about this movie. I'm Brian Rodman, author and illustrator of comics, and most recently the illustrated novel Memoirs of an Angel, which the audiobook of this is going to launch on Kickstarter on Tuesday. So we're busy over here.
Quite busy.
Yeah, man. So happy to be here.
We're very happy to have you here. We're very happy to have you here, maybe watching or listening to this right now. Do not forget to like and share this with your friends if you're watching this live or on the replay. Thank you so much. So what we're going to be doing here, we're going to be doing a spoiler-heavy review. If you've seen the movie, great. Stick around. But if you haven't seen the movie and you don't want to get spoiled, then you may want to hit pause, put this in your watch later list, come back and watch it later after you've had a chance to actually see the cut of the film in theaters, mind you, because it is worthy of going to the theater and having a theatrical experience. I think it is.
Yeah.
Especially with the John Williams cues when they pump out every couple of minutes or so. Thinking to myself, yep, that's Superman, all right. What's up? So yeah, I feel like I feel like I could fly. But anyway, aside from that, so I'll go ahead and start this because I want to make sure some of these thoughts are still fresh on my mind. If you don't mind, gentlemen, I know I'm being biased because I'm the host and producer, but I got to get this off my chest. So how this is going to go? We're going to go over the positives of what we thought about this movie. Then we're going to dive into some of the negatives or things we thought could have been done better, whatever it may have been. And then at the end, we'll save time for final thoughts and a scale of 1 to 10, and then we'll go on a brief discussion about what we feel is going to happen with the DCU moving forward. Like, where do we go from here? Where are we going to go with this? And don't worry, I have a list / map of what projects have been greenlit or coming out soon and all that kind of jazz. So don't worry, fellas, I've done my homework. And we'll dive more into that later because the DCU is, boy, there's a lot of stuff that's being cooked in that oven of theirs. Lanterns over here, Supergirl over there, and apparently Supergirl likes to get drunk. But we'll talk more about that later.
Yeah.
So I'll go ahead.
Don't forget Creature Commandos. That's
out.
Was unbelievably good.
And Peacemaker.
Peacemaker's out. Yeah. AKA John Cena, because the last time is now. You can't see me.
Yeah.
Were you playing peekaboo? Of course we can see you. Anyway, sorry, that's a Dwayne Johnson promo. I'm going to rip off. But anyway, so let's dive into this here for a minute. So here, briefly, I'm going to go over this. Well, maybe not briefly because I have a lot on my mind. So positives of what I thought about this movie are this. I like the new guy. I like David. I think David did a really good job with this. I think the suit looks good on him. I was against the red trunks coming back, but now that I have seen the movie and understand why they did it, I get it. It's fine. But David was really good. The chemistry between Clark and Lois was really, really good, really strong. It was funny at times, but it was also Lois dug into him a bit, saying, hey, why do you think you have the right to do X, Y, and Z? So she was being a very intrepid reporter that we know her from the comics and the TV series, the other iterations of the movies and all that kind of jazz. The score, even though it's a giant homage and a wink and a nod to the camera on so many levels, that it's John Williams inspired or John Williams covers, doesn't matter. It works. It brought back some original feelings for those of you who were there in 78 when Richard Donner's film came out. Maybe you were there in 1980 when Superman 2 came out and you had Near Before Zod, and all that stuff coming at you from all sides, And, but yeah, the score was good. The soundtrack was good. Like I said, I think the cast did a really good job. The speech that Paul Kent gives Clark when they're sitting on the porch in the Kent farm, that is some strong stuff. That's going to hit you in the feels. And if it doesn't, you're fooling yourself. My biggest fear going into this was I thought this was going to be a Crypto movie, and Superman just shows up for a couple of scenes. My other fear about this movie going into it was, is this a Justice League movie or is this a Superman movie, or is it a Justice League movie that just happens to feature Superman? Because I want this to focus on the man in the big blue and red suit. I don't want this to be a Justice League movie. No. I felt like there were 30 characters thrown into this, and I thought to myself, how are they going to, balance all this? How are they going to balance all this? And I walked out and I mean this sincerely, James, I know you're watching. I was very surprised about how you use these characters because I think they worked really well. Funny lines, Green Lantern being a jerk, Green Lantern thinking he knows everything, Nathan Fillion with the charisma saying, hey, kid, Superman couldn't show up, but you got yourself an upgrade. That was cool. His green ring giving the middle finger to a certain enemy during the middle of the movie. I don't know, you got to blink and you'll miss it, but it does happen. There's a few birds being shown. There are certain scenes of the movie, but they're very quick though. But it was well put together. And then when they incorporated the other members of the Daily Planet in the third act, I was like, where are the other members of the Daily Planet? Like they play pivotal roles in the comics. Where are they? And then when they show up and they kind of help out towards the end there with breaking the story and putting it on the web and all that kind of jazz, it worked. It was fine. And Wendell Pierce from The Wire, geez, playing Perry White. I mean, first we get Morpheus as Perry White a couple years ago, right, Dustin? And all of a sudden we get this guy thrown in. I'm like, damn, this guy like hated Mike Ross on Suits, and now he's playing a good guy in Superman as Perry White. And he's smoking a giant ass cigar to boot. So it's like, damn, Wendell Pierce, you got some man, you got some mad skills on you, man, and you wear a sweater vest.
Yeah,
you wear a sweater vest, and I'm like, all right, we're throwing this back to like the reporter days. I can see it, right?
Yeah,
but yeah, and some of the action sequences, although they move kind of quickly, I still thought they were cool. Still thought they were badass. When Superman is beating the hell out of anybody, I'm always, obviously, I'm going to cheer. It's just Mr. Terrific had some really good one-liners that kind of stole the show in certain parts. You brought the dog? Get out of here, man. We can't be goofing around. I'm not goofing around. I'm doing important stuff. It's just, I was like, okay, all right, that's it. Yeah, you got me. And then when Crypto beats the living shit out of Lex at the end of the movie, when he beats the holy hell out of Lex, I'm like, you know what? I wasn't sold on this dog in the beginning, but now I'm like,
yeah,
well done, man. Lay the smackdown on that evil, conniving, candy-ass punk. Do it. Just break his arm if you have to, which I think he did break his arm in the movie. Crypto, I think he broke Luthor's arm when he's being carried away in the Humvee, whatever it was. So nice job, Crypto. He's a dog. He's just not a very good one. And then one of the biggest surprises for me was when Supergirl shows up. I didn't know Supergirl was going to be in this movie at all. Had no idea. But when she shows up, first of all, you're quite beautiful. Millie Allicock, I want to say is her name, is the new Supergirl, if I'm remembering that right. First of all, Millie, hello there. Second of all, you're beautiful. Thirdly, the suit looks good on you. And fourth, why are you drunk all of a sudden? But then again, I treated this as Supergirl year one. She doesn't really know what she's doing. She's kind of, trying to figure things out on her own first, and then she's going to realize how many mistakes she's going to make. And then Kal-El has to come in and say, wait a minute.
Hold up.
This is how you save the world, cuz we got to do it this way. So it kind of reminds me a little bit, not a whole lot, but a little bit of what Laura Vandervoort had to experience on Smallville, because she came in guns blazing. She wanted to attack everybody and destroy everything to get to Kal-El. And then Kal-El said, wait a minute. No. There's humans here. There's value to human life. We need to talk about this for a minute here. You can't just go in guns blazing and expect to get all the answers. No. You got to be a hero in a certain way. And I think Kal-El was going to take Kara under his wing in the next movie, or maybe even in the Supergirl movie, and say, hey, wait a minute. I'm going to teach you how to be the real Supergirl that we all know you to be. But it's going to take a minute because clearly you like to get drunk off your ass. And when she walked into the force and said, hey, cousin, what'd you do with my dog? And I'm like, oh, well, this explains everything because the dog is out of control, has no idea what the frack he's doing. And Supergirl doesn't know what she's doing either because she's drunk all the time. And then Kal-El explains, why does she act this way? Well, she goes to planets with red suns because she wants to get inebriated. Yeah, we gotta fix that, guys. We gotta fix that. We gotta fix it because in the teaser image, which you don't see in the movie, but it's on social media, it says Supergirl coming soon. Look out. And I'm like, whoa, that doesn't sound good. Does that mean she's going to destroy the Earth for a minute? I don't know what's going on. But like I said, good cast, good action sequences, good stuff, good themes that were explored. Lex Luthor did a good job. I'll go into my negatives a little bit later, but I want to focus on the positives. But overall, when it comes to the positives of this film, I like the new kids. I like these new actors. I think they're good. I mean, some of them have been in stuff before. I just didn't personally. I didn't really know who they were. Sorry, I didn't do my homework. But they look good. They're doing a good job. I mean, the floating kiss scene at the end was like, oh, she's wearing the purple and black outfit like Dana Delaney did on Superman the Animated Series. What's up? That's a nod to 1996. Isn't that right, fellas?
Yep.
That was nice. I was like, you're giving an homage to Tim Daly and Dana Delaney. I like it, man. So James Gunn, let me put it to you this way, and this is something I never thought I'd say. I've never been a James Gunn fan. Never liked the guy. Never really cared. Didn't care what he did for Guardians. Didn't care what he did in some of the other stuff he's done outside of Guardians, whatever else. Didn't care. But if James Gunn walks down the street today, I would walk up to him and say, James, let me shake your hand. I respect you, man. I respect what you just did because you gave us something. You gave us something I didn't think you could give us, and that I didn't think at certain points. But you gave us a good Superman movie, and I'm looking forward to seeing what you're going to do with this new DCU. That is the thing I would say to James. So there you go. But those are the positives what I thought about Superman 2025. So I'll toss it over to Brian Rodman. You've been itching, scratching, clawing your way to that top of that Mount Everest or that Antarctic circle that he gets tossed away in from that kaiju that like kicks his ass in the first part of the movie or whatever it was. Or no, Ultraman. So I'm curious. What are the positives? I want to focus on one thing at a time here. So what are the positives for you that stood out for Superman 2025?
Oh, I mean, I don't really know. I'm trying to rack my brain on what negatives I have even, but positives, man, I think everything you mentioned for sure. I think I think the cast is probably just the best part. I think they're perfect. I think this is the best Lois Lane that we've seen on screen, in my opinion. I think this Superman is just. I think this guy is the Superman that we have kind of been waiting for. He's personable. He's relatable. And he's endearing and he's wholesome. And I loved Henry Cavill as Superman. I thought that was a really good take. It was different. I enjoyed it. But this is Superman. That he is Superman in ways that I don't think we've seen really ever before. Because I think he represents a new generation on screen that is just, I don't know. It makes you feel good. It's hope filled. I think that's probably the biggest takeaway for me as well as a positive is I just think like the movie is about having hope, and it is all about, having hope in the face of complete defeat and destruction. And that's what Superman is. And I think they really nailed it with this. And like I said, I think the dynamic between Superman and Lois Lane is just perfect in this. I haven't really felt that connection on screen between the two characters since Smallville, which I was also a huge fan of. And I think they really, but I think this is even more so than that. I think they really nailed it. I think I love Crypto. I love Crypto in the first trailer. I was immediately sold on him because I'm a huge goofy bad dog, fan. I loved that aspect of what James Gunn did with that character and just how he interacts with Clark. And he's a fun, crazy dog, and I love him, and I loved him in the movie. The scene with Lex Luthor at the end was just hilarious. But really, I got to say, more than anything else, for me, the person who stole the show was Mr. Terrific. I loved that character finally got, in my opinion, his due. I love that character so much, and I think he is represented so well in this movie. And I can't wait for whatever movie or show he has coming up the pike. I think it's gonna rock. I thought the actor nailed it, which again, he's finally getting his flowers because of what was done to him in X-Men First Class and all that. So I'm really thankful that they're treating him well and giving him a great character that he is shining in. For sure. And yeah, I mean, I think the thing I was most skeptical about was Nicholas Hoult as Lex Luthor. I wasn't sure how that was going to go. I wasn't poo-pooing it from the beginning or anything like that. It was just like, I didn't see him as, like, when he was announced, I was like, really? I don't know. I don't really, like, he's an amazing actor, but I just couldn't picture him as Lex Luthor. He nailed it. He did such a good job. And I really can't say anything bad about anyone's performance in this movie. I thought everybody did a great job with what they were given. I think I might add a little bit more to that about the negatives later on when we get into that. But I mean, I thought everybody did a great job, and I don't know. It was a fun movie for me. It was fantastic. I had a blast. I can't wait to. I went home as soon as I watched it. My wife and I came home. We watched it in the theater and came home, and I immediately pre-ordered the Blu-ray on Amazon. So
wow.
I loved the movie. It was great.
Pre-order the Blu-ray, man. I need to get on that, son. Gotta add this sucker to my Blu-ray collection. It's gotta happen. Physical media is still a big thing for us fans.
Yeah.
Real quick before I comment on one thing you said, and then I'll pass on to the next panel. Dutch Star Wars guy, also known as Case, who does all our graphic designs, all the backgrounds and thumbnails you see before you. That is because of him. So thank you, Case. He says, I'm just saying hi to you guys. I really like this new film of Superman. Proper way to make the classic character fit within a modern world. David Cornsweet was delightful in the role, and I can't wait to see more of him. All right. I dig it, man. Thanks for saying hi. Thanks for stopping by. Feel free to grab some food and drinks on your way out. Got plenty there in the catering area. I'm just saying. We got the big bucks around here, fellas. I'm just joshing a Case, but we love you, brother. No, I get what you're saying, and yeah, I mean Nicholas Hoult, because I'm so used to seeing him as Beast in X-Men, but then when he shows up and he shaved his head for this too. It's not CGI. It's not a ball cap either. He went full on, man. He's like, you know what? If I'm going to play this role, I'm going to shave my effing head, and I'm going to go on Inside of You with Michael Rosenbaum, and I'm going to tell him that I'm going to shave my head. I look different. I'm going to look like Lex Luthor. And Nicholas Hoult has been on record by saying his favorite iteration of Lex Luthor before he played him was Rosenbaum's from
Mine too.
Yeah.
The best.
In my opinion, he's still the best.
Yeah, he's still
I
the
think
GOAT.
Rosenbaum is fantastic. I will say this: it was so weird because the movie that the most recent movie I saw Holt in before this was Nosferatu. Very different part. And so I was like, man, I mean, and that just shows the acting range the guy has is so good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he goes from Hank McCoy to Nosferatu, and then he goes to playing a bald billionaire who wants to kill Superman.
And you can't forget Renfield. I mean,
Renfield. Yeah.
That movie was bonkers, but he did such a good job.
Was it? Oh yeah, that's
I
right.
love
Nick
that
Cage
movie though.
It's so fun. I love that movie a lot.
Yeah, Nick Cage is in that, if I remember correctly, isn't he?
Yeah.
He is Dracula, and that Yes.
I'm a vampire. I'm a vampire.
Fantastic.
Nick Cage running down the street in another film where he's portraying a vampire, or he's pretending to be like, I'm a vampire. You know, it's just, yeah, that's Nick Cage. Nick Cage in the cage, being Nick Cage with Nick Cage. So there's a lot of 6 degrees of separation there between Nick Cage and being in a cage with Nick Cage. But I'm just saying, I'm so sorry. We're celebrating one of his best films later this year on Movie Watch Along. His classic movie Gone in 60 Seconds turns 25. So we'll be celebrating that and talking about Eleanor, the car that got away. So 67 Shelby GT500. What's up? Love that car.
Yeah.
And Eleanor is a great name for a car. I think it's a beautiful name.
Mm-hmm.
That's just me. Talk more about that later. Angelina Jolie, anybody? She was in that movie too. Hello. But anyway, that's a story for another day entirely. Paul Landry, I'm curious. What are your positives on this film known as Superman 2025?
So it's funny because you showed the trailer.
Yeah.
And that is
it doesn't give anything away, though. It's one of the few trailers that doesn't give anything away.
You know, and that's amazing because it's the only trailer that ever made me cry.
Oh, really?
Like,
really?
Yeah. And, you know, just like Pa Kent, I'm a mush. Ask my wife, she'll tell you. And as soon as that dog came on the screen, I was just like, there go the waterworks. I'm like, I knew this was going to be a phenomenal movie. And I don't go to the movies that often, you know, because you know, the movie going experience lately has been terrible, movie theater patrons and stuff. But we went to like an earlier show and you could hear a pin drop the entire movie. So I'm like, oh yeah, this has everything. And, you know, there is a certain, you know, I guess conception or what Superman is supposed to be, where I felt like, you know, the Snyder movies didn't hit it for me because they were focusing too much on him being all powerful and they didn't humanize him enough. And I feel like they did that in spades in this one, where, you know, because that's what we want. He's a guy that has all of these amazing powers, but he can do all of these amazing things. And it's so funny because it's the reason why Lex hates him is because he can do all of these things, but chooses to do good every single day. And that pisses him off. And I loved Nicholas Hoult as Luthor. I hated him with every fiber of my being, you know, but then again, I hate billionaires. So, I mean, it's like that's no, you know, so he's easy to hate because they are. And but yeah, so when he gets his comeuppance at the end and we see him cry, that was very nice because, you know, Superman really had to tell him like, hey, I'm as human as you and I'm just trying to do, you know, the best that I can with what I have, you know. And you know, I can't say enough good things about Guy Gardner. I hope if they do anything, any one thing, I just hope that they show in future films him getting punched in the face by Batman. That needs to happen. And I really hope it does. I really do. And, you know, underrated thing, I love the Superman robots in the Fortress of Solitude.
Oh yeah, that's another thing I forgot to bring up.
That to me, because what I love about the movie, one of the best things that I like about it is it leans on that Silver Age silliness, and it embraced it. So like the world that we're introduced to is lived in, and you believe that these people have been around for, you know, hundreds of years, you know, and Superman is the strongest among them. And I really like that. And the other really cool thing, and this is what I like about James Gunn, he does his homework. There's a scene where Lois and Mr. Terrific are talking and they're by her car. And if you didn't know, there's the license plate on her car is Delaware, because that's where Metropolis is canonically. And I thought that was a great touch. I thought like, hey, this guy read the encyclopedia, which means that if they introduce, or if and when they introduce Gotham, it'll be in Camden, New Jersey, which is kind of like Gotham if you know anything about Camden, New Jersey. But no, it hit everything that I needed it to be. I knew, like I said, I knew right away from the trailer this was going to be like the movie to see. And I don't, like I said, I don't go to the movies that much, but I saw this one twice. You know, it was that good. And I really liked Hawk Girl. I thought she was a lot of fun, and I really wanted her to be in more things. So I hope that they have a future for her because she was great. And Jimmy was a lot of fun. And I've been seeing a lot of stuff online about that. Like why did they make him this, ladies' man or whatever? And I'm like, because that's the joke. The joke is that he's just that type of guy, I guess. I don't know, but I really liked that. I thought that was really funny. And I did like that they gave Perry a cigar, and it's like, it's a weird thing for me because they don't like to, in these types of movies, they don't like to show that sort of stuff, but they did. And I thought that was good. I like that because that's part of his character, It's sort of like, the Fantastic Four, you can't show, Ben Grimm with a cigar, even though that's a thing. But as a cigar guy, I appreciated that.
No pun intended, because he is the thing.
Right, exactly. But let's see. What else did I like about, everything. And yeah, we talked about the robots and then the kaiju fight. That was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
That was like, who would think to do that? And they did it, and they executed it so well. And what I really liked about that, aside from him saving the squirrel, was he's like, hey, we could have killed this thing more humanely, or we could have put it into an intergalactic zoo. We didn't have to do it the way you guys did it, which that is just, that's so like such a Superman thing to do, and like I said, they really got a lot of it. And I know that they pulled from All-Star Superman, but there's that one comic that's, I think it's called Whatever Happened to the Man of Tomorrow, I think it is.
Yeah, Man of Tomorrow, yeah.
Yeah, and I really like that they leaned on a lot of that. I don't know if it was intentional, but, when I read that comic and then seeing this movie, I'm like, yeah, it could exist in the same kind of world, which I really liked. So no complaints for me.
No, I got you. And that's something I think I forgot to bring up. Yeah, K2SO is in this movie, also known as Alan Tudyk, who likes to voice over robots a lot. In the last 10 years since Rogue One came out in 2016, that was a good year too. Rogue One, we love you. But yeah, when he shows up as 4, and then at the end of the movie, he's like, I need a name. Why don't we just call you Gary? How about that? He's like, all right, that works. And then when he says, your cousin is here, she doesn't look well, or whatever it is. And I'm just like, oh my gosh, what is going on? And then when we find out why things they are the way they are, I'm like, oh, okay, so this is the different iteration of Supergirl / other characters within DCU we're going with. All right, I can see it. But by the way, I agree with you on Hawk Girl. Yeah, even though she wasn't utilized a whole lot, but with the screen time she was given, it works. And then she's like, we're not called the Justice Gang. I hate that. I didn't vote on it. Doesn't vote. It doesn't count. It's just, yeah. And then when she's beating the heck out of the kaiju with her hammer, or the thunder hammer, whatever it's called, I'm like, yeah, just let her go to town, man. Let her unleash the fury, Paul. Unleash the fury.
Yeah, and I like that she drops the president of whatever that country, Barovia.
Yeah.
That was nice.
Did she kill the guy, or just let him fall?
I don't think you're gonna survive.
Oh, she killed him.
Yeah,
She killed him. They don't say, but
I don't think. Yeah. Okay, so she kills the president. I'm like, you know what? The guy kind of deserved it. He was a excuse my language. He was an asshole. So
and and if you know about Thanagarians, it's like Thanagarians don't pull a lot of punches.
No, they don't, because they're bred for war. That's what they're made for. They're made for war, and in war there are casualties of war. Isn't that right when it comes to Thanagarians? Yeah. But yeah, her screen time was good. But yeah, the robots were good too, and there were female robots in it too in the fortress, and they're helping him out and all this kind of jazz. I'm like, okay, all right, it's kind of like a video game. His health is down. Let's take him out of the ring for a minute. Let's get the health meter back up. Just give him some sunlight, guys. Just give him some sunlight. He'll be just fine. It's like a battery. It's like an Energizer Bunny. It just keeps going and going and going. So I get it, Paul. That's good stuff. What about you, Dion? You got the new studio. You got the ridiculously good-looking shirt. I'm curious though. Any positives for this movie stand out to you? And you're muted, by the way. There you are. Unmute yourself and talk. Come on, let's hear from you.
Yeah. Well, I echo everything that Paul and Brian said, and yourself too. This was the Superman that we needed, and I understand that shift had to happen. So I enjoyed it. David Cornsweet as Superman he got me once he said golly. Once he said golly, I was like, okay, I'm on board, man. I'm on the ride. And then, like everybody said, the casting, Lex Luthor was great. Every time he was on screen, you hated him. So that was a good tale of a villain. Like that was a good thing to have. The fabulous or the marvelous Lois Lane, Mrs. Lois Lane, she was great in that. She felt like Lois. But Lois is pretty. The actors who have played Lois have a pretty solid streak anyway, but she really dug into this one. And what was wild about it, I don't feel like there was like any time where she was like a true damsel in distress, like she's been in everything else. So I thought that was kind of dope too. But just from a standpoint of, I had a few negatives, just a few, but not that many, not enough to like tank the movie or enough for me. But yeah, David Corenswet got me for this one. Clark Kent, he was great. When he went back to Smallville and was back with his parents, you know, once his mom said, "I'll get your boots," or "I cleaned your boots," I was like, okay, there's certain parts in it like that just drive it home to me. Like this is Superman. This is his world. This works. And like I said, the story was great Superman. Good story for me. But yeah, I got no complaints here, man. We're living in a summer where we get that and Fantastic Four as like that golden age sort of retro sort of style of comic book movie, and it worked. Few more positives here to have. Crypto grew on me. He grew on me. I really wish he just didn't jump on him as bad as he jumped on him when he got back. When he was trying to go back to the Fortress of Solitude, it was like salt in the wounds almost. I gotta train him better. Just gotta train him better. But he grew on me as time went on. And also another positive, I think Brian said that Mr. Terrific, Edie Gareth Gathigi, I think his name, getting a shot to not redeem himself, but after they did him so dirty for Marvel or for X-Men,
Right.
getting a chance to show
as Darwin.
Yeah, getting a chance to show off as Mr. Terrific. It was great. One of the best added characters, I think, of this movie. But yeah, no notes, man. Like I came out of that movie thinking about what's ahead. I'm not sure if they know what's ahead for Superman fully, minus the Supergirl stuff. But yeah, no notes for me, man. I'll keep it short and sweet. It was another positive. The trunks grew on me too. I wasn't sure about it because it didn't photograph well, the suit didn't. But once you saw it in motion and how it was utilized and stuff, it was great. But yeah, nothing else for me, Ryan. That movie, that was a Superman movie that we needed. Point blank, period.
That would venture to say that's true. And it's good that you brought your legal pad and that giant pen you always writing with. So
hey,
that's good.
I keep my notes, man.
Yeah,
okay?
man.
The man's organized.
He's
You
organized.
can't hate him for that.
He's got a great looking studio, which is better than anything I could come up with. So, you know,
I just keep my notes. Okay.
I keep my notes. It's a giant legal pad, and I got 2 pens.
I just got these. That's all I got.
Yeah, this is what Dustin has. He has the purple-ish, pinkish, whatever they're called. Purple, like magenta. That's it.
Yeah.
Is it magenta? It might be. I don't know. I can't tell. But good stuff though. But no, that's cool, man. I totally dig it. Speaking of which, since you brought up the colorful lights in your background, cowboy, what were your positives of this thing, Dustin? I'm just curious.
Okay, so positives. Okay, there's a little bit of echoing of all of y'all.
Okay.
So I think the thing of it for me was I think Lex stood out the most. Of course, loved Guy Gardner. Like you said, he needs to get punched in the face by Batman. It'll be great. I'm hoping that the Batman casting will come out soon. But anyway, that's not the movie we're talking about. But yeah, I do have some negatives that I wasn't, too keen on. Cornsweat grew on me because I am a huge Henry Cavill fan.
Damn right.
And yeah, it's just he like defined the role for me. And I also love Tom Welling, and that was insane. Like, I couldn't bear to watch rewatched Smallville again after when they announced the new casting, because I needed to wrap my head around the new guy. At the time, Henry Cavill was the new guy, and it's like okay, but then it came out and it hit me, and I just had a kid, so having that relationship be torn away, and as he's sent away from the planet, like that just hit me right in the feels, because it's like that I couldn't give up my kid, you know, and she's only a month old or a couple months old, you know, so it was wild. But so in relation to this movie, I can't say that it got me any kind of feeling other than what you said in the speech that he gave, Pa Kent gave Superman towards the end, was good. It was interesting, but yeah, I mean, I'm flustered because I've seen the movie, right? But I still don't quite know how I feel about it, like what it means to me, you know, and how, I mean, I like y'all said, I loved all of it, but at the same time, it needs to translate into, is this going to go on the shelf with my favorite movies of all time, or is this just a good Superman movie, and you know, one that we needed a way to like change the people's mindsets into like, okay, this is how we should all be striving to live for, you know, like it's a good example, you know. But so I think that's all of it encompasses that overall feeling. And I don't know, I don't really have many notes on that. Just, you know, what's in here and this feeling in my chest and in my gut and all that. So it's, yeah, I don't know. I thought it was a good movie. But yeah, I mean, I all I can do is echo all the things you said, y'all said. So I enjoyed all of it. And then I can speak on negatives, but yeah, that's what I got.
I got you. No, it's all right, man. So in other words, the jury's kind of out for you. The jury's still out on this. You're not really sure what's going to happen. You're not sure how you feel about it. Maybe if you sit down and watch it a couple more times, it'll.
Yeah, I feel like that's what I need to do. Like I feel like in order to,
I get it.
In order to process this, I need to watch it another time or two because I don't know. I'm still.
You're a bit flustered.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I gotta say, Dustin, I sympathize with you because Henry Cavill, Man of Steel, that was the first time I really had an emotional reaction to the character.
Right.
So like I was really like, where are they gonna go with this and this reboot? I don't know. For me, this, you know, this new version, I think it was so different from Man of Steel and the direction that Snyder was going, that it was so different that I could kind of clean slate approach it, you know?
Yeah.
But
that's what I definitely tried to do.
Yeah. I totally sympathize because man, that movie, Man of Steel, made me feel some things. So yeah, I get it.
Yeah, I get it, man. It's all good. You know, once you see the movie a couple more times, give me a call, 1-800-SUPERMAN for life, and we'll have a therapy session. We'll sit down, we'll go over, share your feelings, be open, be honest. So it's or if you want, I mean, if you want to, Dustin, after you've had a chance to see Superman 2025 a couple more times, maybe we'll just, you know, throw caution to the wind and say, you know what? Even though we did this a couple years ago, because it turned, I think it was 10, right? And we normally don't do odd numbered, you know, anniversaries for movies. But if you want to do a watch along of Man of Steel on Thunder Nerds or, you know, my channel, we can just sit back and go back to the year that was 2013 and be like, yo, let's see what Henry Cavill did when he showed up on set. You know, it's like,
yeah.
What was so wild is like for the week leading up to Superman,
yes,
and maybe the week after, maybe for like 3 weeks on HBO Max, Man of Steel was in the top 5
top
movies
three,
on
top
HBO Max,
three.
which was
Yeah.
which is wild, right?
Top
So
three.
I understand what Dustin says. Is you come out again. I gave the positives, but you come out after that. I'm not gonna say like ambivalent is the only word I can find at the moment, because you're like, okay, where are we? What's the plan here?
Yeah,
Right,
where are we
right.
going with
Where are we
this?
going?
Yeah,
Yeah, like,
because
and I mean, we
WB
don't
has
always,
told us they can't do it. You know, before, like
yeah,
that's what.
and
they've
we
shown.
don't, yeah, and we don't always need to know the plan. I get it,
Well,
but man, Man of Steel was what 2013,
2013.
and now
12
we just
years,
got a
man.
new
12 years.
and we just got a new iteration of Superman.
Yeah.
Not with the same actor, but like, hey,
Different-
clean slate.
Different
Yeah.
people,
So-
different cast, different
and-
tones, very different tones.
And that's been 10 plus years of DC just juggling and fumbling.
Yes.
So I get the feeling.
it's a
Dustin,
lot.
you're not alone in this, man. I feel you.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
a lot to take in. Because and it's funny you bring this up, Dustin, because I remember when we all heard the news on social media that James Gunn was going to take over Warner Brothers in DC and say, hey, we're going to reboot this whole thing. We're going to start from scratch. We're going to bring in some new talent. We're going to bring in new storylines. We're going to adapt different iterations of the characters. Because let's face it, there's a lot of things you can pick from in the comic book realm, right? Because these characters are around for 80, 70, 90 years, some of them 60, 70 years. And you're thinking to yourself, okay, well, which version are you going to go with? Because some versions belong on a comic book and not on a big screen.
Right.
Because that was my hesitation when they announced that Crypto was going to show. Because I'm thinking to myself, wait a minute. I remember watching the 60 reruns, by the way, because I wasn't born yet. But I remember watching reruns of the 60s animated series Superboy that included his dog Crypto. I remember watching that and I thought, oh, this is cute. I mean, when you're 5 or 6 years old, Dustin, you don't think much of it, right?
Right.
When you're an adult and you realize, oh, there are good and bad things that work in movies. Okay. Crypto is bad. Don't put him in this. This is going to fail epically in 2025 because millennials and Gen Zers don't want to see a CGI dog. And if you said so, don't you dare tell me that. But anyway, yeah, I was skeptical, man. I was. Believe me, I really thought this was going to be a Crypto movie where Superman just shows up for a couple of scenes and that's it. But I'm not like 1,000% sold on Crypto because like Superman said at the very end of the movie, he's a dog, but he's just not a very good one.
Yeah.
That's right. He's not. He's out of his mind. He's cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. He has too much Wheaties in his cereal, and I think he drinks caffeine in the morning. So Crypto
dog adoptions went up though.
Did they?
Right. Yeah.
Is there a
dog
stat
adoptions
that came
went
out
up
yesterday that said that dog adoptions went up by like what 60% or something?
I don't
Oh
know
no,
if
it
that's
was
a good
like
or bad thing, though,
500%.
500% of
Yeah.
adoptions for dogs
Yeah.
went up.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I hope those people all keep their dogs. That's all I'm gonna
right.
say.
That was
Yeah.
what I thought.
Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
I'm all for finding people or animals or pets a home. Don't get me wrong. Like it's what is it, the ASPCA or some of the other charities and organizations that have pets available, like dogs, cats, whatever. So I get it. Believe me, but I didn't know the stats went up, Brian. So
Yeah.
woo, no.
Yeah, I
woo,
saw
Nelly.
that. That was pretty wild.
Yeah, that is cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. But no, I get it, Dustin. I mean, I know it's been 12 years since the last solo movie, but we've gotten so much in those 12 years. Some things worked, some things didn't.
Right.
And now we reboot it all over again, like they did with Spider-Man 3 times now with the Tobys, the Andrews, and now we got the Toms, and now Tom's going to be in one more film, and then they're going to write him off, and then they're going to bring in another Spider-Man, and Spider-Man's going to get rebooted. So these characters keep getting rebooted, and I'm thinking to myself, how many times can we turn the computer off and reboot this thing? Because I'm happy with the program that I already have. Why are you, you know what I mean?
Right.
It's like that notification that pops up that says, your phone must be updated. I'm
Right.
like, I don't want to update my phone. My phone's fine. I don't want to update it, you fool. But that's
And for me, like that's
yeah, go ahead.
like I mean, obviously I love comic books, but
Who
that's
doesn't?
that's
doesn't?
where I have my issues with Marvel and DC is
Oh,
because it's just the constant rebooting and rehashing
Yeah.
and retelling.
Rehash.
And I'm like, are we going to start doing this in the movies? Because if that's the case, count me out. You know what I mean? Like
Right.
there's only, I mean, maybe like give a break. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
if you, I don't know how you do that as a studio, but
Well, it is
like
a studio.
it's just,
Yeah.
it's I don't know. You can only tell the same story so many times.
Well, that's true. We've seen it in the comics. Is it Johnny Dome? I want to say he says if they did a good Steel movie,
Heck
that
yeah.
would be cool. Well,
Yeah.
if they ever do
I
a John,
need.
Steel
How
would
are you
be
talking
fun.
about? Shaq did an amazing job.
Yeah, I know.
He made a free throw with the grenade. He made a free throw with the
Listen.
grenade. Come on.
Right, come
Listen,
on.
listen.
That was cinema.
That's
I was listen. I remember renting that at my local library so many times. The movie Steel was Shaq and
Oh,
this
it's so
this
good.
villain played by John Bender from Breakfast Club, being the villain. I'm thinking to myself, what is happening? Why am I enjoying this? And then he's in a movie before that called Kazam, and I'm like, what is this? A ripoff of Aladdin? What
Right.
is this?
In a boombox, a genie
In a boombox?
Take my money.
Yeah. Shaq coming out of a boombox and being your genie that grants you not one, not two, but three. Count them, three, Dion. 3 wishes to be exact. And ixnay on the wishing for more wishes.
I'll use
Anyway.
the 3 on send them free. I'll use the 3.
Really?
Yeah,
Okay.
man. You only need 2. You're good.
Well,
need to.
Who was
Then
this?
I have a genie friend for life. Like
You do.
come
You
on.
could have a genie.
See, that's what I'm saying. Everybody, like, come on, guys.
You
You
can
can
have
your
a genie
best
friend for-
friend and just
Yeah.
do whatever you want.
You gotta want something, kid. Anyway, Hosea XCI says, I saw someone say Zack Snyder did a deconstruction of the character of Superman, where Superman 2025 is a reconstruction of him. I agree with that sentiment, according to this person. Okay. I could, I can, yeah.
I can dig that.
I can see it. I can see
and
it.
Yeah, and I like both.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's like the little girl on social media, Brian. Why not both?
I think it's a different vision, but yeah, I can see it.
Yeah, why not both?
Yeah.
Which brings,
I feel like
go ahead.
I'm sorry.
No,
I
go
feel
ahead.
like their build up was going to get to like the Superman that we saw this year.
Exactly.
Like him showing up in Black Adam, that may have been like the
That was
ultimate
Superman.
Superman.
Yeah.
That would have been it. So,
Right.
but again, so many missteps, so many fumbles
couldn't
here and
get
there.
There were
You just
problems
couldn't
behind
get
the scenes. There were creative differences. I heard Dwayne Johnson just got him in there to make his movie.
Nobody
make more money.
wanted. Nobody wanted Black Adam as the cornerstone of DC.
No.
Come
I
on,
don't know.
man.
There were
I don't care
creative
how
differences.
big The Rock is. I love The Rock, but come on,
Well, don't you mean the final boss, Dion? He is the final boss.
man. He's not even coming back to wrestling. So just go somewhere else now.
He'll cut a promo. He'll cut a
I'm
promo with
done.
Roman Reigns and be like, "I am the final boss, Cody. I want your soul."
I'm calling him Dwayne from here on out, man.
You're calling
I've never
him
done
Dwayne? You're not
that.
gonna call him the
His
final
best movie
boss?
was Walking Tall, and we all know it.
Yeah.
Man, hey, Scorpion King was pretty dope too.
I tell you what, I love
Love that
Scorpion King, and I really do like Walking Tall. Because when he walks in and just trashes the entire casino, and midway through the movie, I'm like,
Yep.
this is a movie I would watch all day long.
Yeah,
Right.
I like that.
Hey, man, I'm a rundown guy.
You like the
movie?
Rundown?
I
so
love
good.
that movie.
You like the rundown? Okay.
I love
love
the
it, too.
rundown. It's
Because
so much
Rosario, what's her
fun.
name? Rosario is in that, right? Rosario Dawson is in that. Yeah.
Yeah.
So there's another
that's so
character. For you.
good.
She's been in a number of
Christopher
movies,
Walken?
hasn't she?
Mhm.
Oh yeah, Chris. I forgot he was in that movie.
No. Sean
Yeah.
William Scott was in the rundown.
Yeah, Christopher Walken was the.
Yeah,
He was
the
like,
villain.
yeah.
I don't want this to get messy.
Yeah.
This is my business.
I don't
Anyway,
know, man. Like
Yeah.
I'm a huge fan of the Big Cheese Factor, where like the whole time the main character's like, I don't use guns because bad things happen, and at the end,
As
he
soon
just
as it
breathes
happened.
fly, and that to me, I don't know.
I don't use this stuff, guys. But anyway, for those of you wondering what the Bantha fodder is going on, we are deconstructing or reconstructing a spoiler-heavy review of Superman 2025. See what I did there, Dustin?
Yeah.
Superman 2025. Don't forget to like and share this. If you have any thoughts on this movie or anything relating to Superman, let us know in the comments. Let us know in the chat. Because Lord knows we could go on for weeks and months about the character. But thanks for being here. Appreciate all the panelists. By the way, Nem, I'm just curious. What are your positives on this movie?
Yeah, I'm afraid that I am going to start talking and really age myself and be
Really?
as old as I really am. Yeah.
I thought you were only 25 last week.
Yeah, I am. So,
Okay.
As a matter of fact, thank you.
You're
for
welcome.
that.
You're welcome.
Very, very nicely told lie. I enjoyed this movie quite a bit. I think it is one of those movies. Well, I'm gonna get right into it. This movie came out 2 days before my birthday, and I said, for what I wanted for my birthday is I wanted to take my whole family to this movie, and they're not as big into comics as I am, but I wanted to take them. I wanted to support the movie. I wanted to see how they liked it as well. And so my youngest is going to be 20 soon, and my other two children are well into their 20s, and we brought their significant others, and my wife went with me, and we all went. And the thing that made me the happiest is we all left happy, and I left happy. I left happy because I had the same feeling in my heart. Now, don't get me wrong. Zack Snyder's vision, especially for Superman, wasn't my thing. But I went and I enjoyed the movie for what it was, for his vision.
Mhm.
And I have a lot of friends who are my age who do nothing but crap, excuse my language, on the new stuff. And I'm like, look, things are going to change. But it's like I would like to find a medium where we could cross over between all the generations, and we can share this together. And I'll say, Zack Snyder and Henry Cavill stuff wasn't my thing, but I enjoyed it because I lived through an era where I put my hard-earned money down for Dolph Lundgren as Punisher because, damn it, that was all I got for a superhero movie.
Right.
So, like now I am spoiled for choice. So it's like, I don't care what is going on. I can go watch some superhero stuff. But I went and watched this movie, and I left having the same feeling that I did growing up watching Max Fleischman cartoons on reruns when I was a kid, watching George Reeves 1950s, and then being at Superman the movie in 1978 with my actual blanket cape tied, not pinned, tied around my neck that my mom had made me, and then coming out pretending to fly out of the movie. And I got that same feeling. And then I looked at my kid's face, and they had that same feeling. And I was like, mission accomplished, James Gunn. Mission accomplished. Good job.
Yeah.
I mean, so that is just from a macro level, because to me, we asked before we went on board if Superman. Well, Superman's not my favorite character, but it is one of my favorite characters at DC. But I'm a DC fan, and so what I've seen happen to DC for a while now has been breaking my heart.
Yeah,
and this was like the beginning of healing for me, and that was wonderful to see.
Yeah.
So that was that is, if I could say nothing else positive about this film, that is the biggest takeaway for me, like as far as happiness. Rachel Brosnahan as Lois Lane, man, I loved her as Lois Lane because I think she's a talented actress. I thought her presence and her chemistry with David Cornsett was great, but the writing for her, because once again, I felt like Lois was the intrepid reporter who could hold her own. I was like looking at her and I saw Margot Kidder again. I saw Dana Delaney from Superman the Animated Series. Once again, I was like, Lois is out here being her best Lois, and that was fantastic. What else? Lex Luthor. There's been so many different iterations of Lex Luthor over the years in the comics and everything else, but I like this one. I like the businessman who is running the secret thing behind the scenes, and he can't stand. He's a world-class hater. He is jealous and envious of Superman, and he makes no bones about it. And I love what was going on, and I thought Nicholas Hoult was fantastic. But most of all, listening to all of you talk, it made me happy because you're all appreciating this, and you're appreciating the era of Superman that I'm probably the biggest fan of, which is, we're going to talk about other stuff later on, but pre-crisis Superman.
Yeah.
I grew up on that. I cut my teeth on that. This was the first comic I ever got. This is 1977, and I still have it. And this is pre-crisis Superman, written by one of my favorites. And this has Ziggy Zaggy in it, which you probably never heard of, which is the precursor to the Wonder Twins. It's got Mr. Mxyzptlk in it.
Yeah.
It's got the last story. Superman has to be saved by one of the LLs in his life, which was a big deal. It was fantastic. It was absolutely amazing, and I got that feeling again because there was that it was that era where you're between the Silver Age and the Bronze Age, but you had that silliness. My favorite character, but I got to give a shout out to James Gunn. My favorite character in DC is this guy, Blue Devil from 1985, not a big character. And the reason I brought this up is because James Gunn and Guardians and everything else is not afraid to go into the rich history of DC and bring these characters and just throw them out there, and then people learn to love them. My wife didn't know Guy Gardner from John Gardner, and she left being a huge Guy Gardner fan, so I thought that was amazing. My kids love Mr. Terrific, which I thought was amazing. I'm sitting there watching the movie, and I noticed the mural in the back. I was like, that's Zatara, that's Wildcat, that's El Diablo. I love El Diablo, and they're part of the history. They're part of the tapestry. And I was a little bit worried about all the characters, but the way that James Gunn used all of this and made them the backdrop for a Superman movie was fantastic. And then finally, I will show you my favorite. Well, he's in my top 3. He's not my absolute favorite, but one of my top 3 DC characters.
Yep.
Metamorpho.
Yep.
And I got a Metamorpho in the movie, and I never thought I'd see Metamorpho. man, I was happy when I got one episode of Metamorpho in was it Superman? Which one? Yeah, Superman the animated series. I think it was. I don't know about that. One of the animated series. But that's like the most you've ever gotten, and then you get a mention of Simon Stagg in the Arkham video games. And that's about all you got. I was like, man, and I think Metamorpho showed up in The Outsiders in Batman the Brave and the Bold, the animated series. But it's like you take those crumbs, you're like, well, I'll never see a Metamorpho realized. And I've had those nerdy discussions where I was like, Superman, if you wanted to take him down, one of the characters who could do it is Metamorpho. And I said exactly how they did. I've been saying it for years. And there's James Gunn doing it. I was like, that is one of the nerdiest deep dives I've ever seen. I was like, thank you. Thank you for going full nerd with me, my nerd brother. So it just makes me feel something right here. Because it's just these things that back in the day we used to have these nerdy discussions. Like, if you wanted to be Superman, what would your 3 characters be, or what would you do, or and then. Another thing is, I get there's been all these different versions of Superman, and this is from a writer perspective. This is my personal opinion, but I understand the post-crisis Superman that, man, he just kept getting more and more OP until you eventually got the All-Star Superman, where that guy could move the earth and everything else. But my favorite Superman is always a guy who, yes, he's superpowered and he's invulnerable to a lot of the stuff that us normal human beings could do. But he wins on his humanity, his heart, and his courage. And I think I saw that in this movie. And I love that. And, I have defended that to my dying breath against a lot of my friends who are my age who hate this movie. But to be fair to them, and I respect their opinions, but they hated this. They hated Man of Steel. They hated, Superman Returns. They hated Smallville. I mean, it's like, well, at a certain point, whatever it is you liked.
They like Superman?
Yeah,
it's like,
right?
Yeah, it's like whatever you liked is not coming back. It's not coming back. Those days are past. We're not 7 years old anymore. The best that we can hope for, and I don't mean that in a derogatory way, is that we're sharing this with another generation, and then hopefully passing it down to the generation under them, and keeping this thing going. And things are going to change. Things are going to change, and it changed in this, but it still has the flavor, and I appreciate it, and I enjoyed it, and I left, and I saw my family entertained, and we had spent our money. But it was worth it. And you do that for my family, you get a thumbs up in my book every day of the week. So.
Well, with that being said, I got to give you one of these.
Yes! Hell yeah! Hey, come on, baby! Come on! Yes! Come on! Ah! Yes! Yes!
Thank you very much, sir.
Yeah, dude, that was I dig it, and it's great that your family enjoyed it, and it's cool that you bring that up too, because, and listen, there's a lot of differing opinions on this, right? Because everybody has an opinion. All film is subjective. All pieces of art is subjective. It's just a fact of life. But here's the thing: for certain audiences, the prequels of Star Wars were their entry point into Star Wars. For another generation, the sequel trilogy, which was Force Awakens, Last Jedi, and Rise, it may have been their entry point into Star Wars. And that's not necessarily a bad thing. Granted, you can ask anybody about the qualities of the movies. We can go all day. But it was an entry point for different generations of audiences. So you got to give credit where credit is due, whether you like the films or not. My niece and my nephew saw the sequel trilogy. That's their generation of Star Wars. And there's no shame about it, because we got 2 out of 5 good films there with Force Awakens and Rogue One. Everything else been downhill. But still, it was an entry point, so it works. And by the way, lots of people are chiming in here, so I want to give them a moment in the sun, as one might say. Let me see. Johnny Dome says Superman made a profit no matter what the haters say. If it flops or not, it didn't flop. It made money. He goes on to say David Zayas, or Zaz, whoever it is, says Super Family is coming up, so maybe Superboy clone may show up in a movie. They can say he was always there in the pocket dimension that Lex Luthor brought up. So... Yeah, that's another possibility. You can play with time zones. You can play with what do you call it, pocket dimensions, all that kind of jazz, because Lex opened those gateways, and it's not a good thing for you to open Pandora's box, Lex. But when you
Right.
try to play God, things go to garbage. Johnny Dome says, I think this reboot was well worth it. There are less to dislike on this one from what I see, and that's cool. I dig it. And then Hosea XCI says he's just a dog. I know he's not a very good one, but he's probably scared and alone right now. Damn if that ain't Superman.
Yeah.
Might be a good point. Matthew Kearns, it's been forever since I've seen you, brother. Where have you been? He says, I really love this movie. It's not better than Superman the movie with Christopher Reeve from 1978, respectively, but it captured so much about what I love about this character. And also, Nathan Fillion as Green Lantern was superb.
Mm-hmm.
So, there you go.
Absolutely true.
Yeah. More credit being thrown.
And I do have to say, I have to give credit. I saw an interview with Nathan Fillion, and they were going to put him in Guy Gardner with normal hair, and he nixed it. He said, "No, if I'm playing Guy Gardner, you will give me the bowl cut." And I was like, "Thumbs up, sir. Thumbs up."
Right.
So,
well, that takes guts to do on film. Hosea XCI says Superman and Lois was great too. The television series Superman and Lois.
Yes.
CW.
It was.
Yeah.
Got to say, probably the best iteration of Doomsday ever. Period. Hands down. It's just. It was great.
I haven't seen. I only saw the first season or so of Superman and Lois. I never saw the last three.
Yeah, the final season was probably the best.
Some people have said that. I'm only familiar with the first season. Sorry, guys.
Yeah.
But I know Doomsday from the animated, direct-to-video DC animated films. Obviously, the comic book, Death Superman. I've read it. It's good stuff. Not my favorite Superman comic, but it's good. And then Sam Witwer was Doomsday for a time on Smallville. Hello, season 8. We're looking at you. Yeah, the Legion shows up. You get the Destroyer shows up for a cameo. I'm like, all right.
It was a weird werewolf Doomsday.
Whatever, dude. It was Sam Witwer. I don't mind him. Him.
I had fun with it. I'm just saying it was an interesting take.
Yeah. It was American Werewolf in Smallville.
Yeah.
Isn't that right, Brian? Yeah, you know a thing or two about horror movies because you're looking forward to October,
Always.
Well, you always look forward to October. You're a fan of things that go bump in the night. That's your thing, man. That's your shtick. And the other thing is, you love to brag about how you're recollecting all the classic Universal monster movies on physical media. So
yeah, I'm looking at them right now. I finished. Well, okay, not all of them. There's
not all of them.
A ton, but just the classic collection that Universal
the original
put out in
8
the 90s.
Or 7.
The
original 7?
8. Yeah,
8. Yeah. Because don't forget about Bride of Frankenstein. That's in there.
Oh, yeah.
I know, right? Let me see. At least Paul and Jimmy is alive in this iteration of Superman. Yeah. Normally, Jonathan has a heart attack and then he dies. So didn't happen in this one. Nope. They kept both Ma and Pa Kent alive because people speculated in the trailer, Dion, that Ma Kent was the one who died, and that's why Clark was consoling Pa Kent in the trailer.
Oh, that's a good trailer. It gave nothing though. So I want more trailers like that where I don't know what to expect because we all thought it.
People thought she was dead.
Yeah, thought she was gone or whatever.
I do have to say one of my negatives is around Pa there though. So.
Yeah, same.
Is it? I'm sorry. Say that one more time. Is it what?
It was around the Kents when we get there. So.
Oh, okay. Sorry. I'm a little. Yeah, I was gonna say where are we going with this, but for those of you wondering, this is a spoiler-heavy review of Superman 2025. I mean, we'll talk about other realms of Superman because he's been around for so long. Don't forget to like and share if you have any questions or comments or concerns about certain things. Let us know in the comments. Let us know in the chat. If you're watching us live on the replay, thank you so much. So yeah, let's dive into this a little bit here because me personally, I do have some negatives, but since I went first on the positives, I don't want to hog the spotlight because that goes against my personality a little bit. So I'll turn things over to you, Nem. What are the negatives, if you have any, regarding Superman 2025? And then we'll go to the next.
Well, I only have 3 negatives, and they're not huge negatives.
Yeah.
But the first is Hawkgirl. I thought that the actress who played her was just fine, and what they were doing. It's just I prefer my Thanagarians with the wings attached permanently, for the most part. So the Shi'ar Hall, and I thought it was a little strange, the screeching. I'd never seen that before, so it took me out of it a little bit, with her being able to yell and like this screeching. So it was a new take, but and I will say none of these negatives are things where I'm just like, well, I'm ripping up everything and walking out of the movie, as you could probably tell already. The second thing was how do I put this? James Gunn wants to be a music video director so bad, man. So it's like,
Yeah, musical cues.
yeah, it's just that guy loves him some playlist sharing, and I get it, and most of the time I'm fine with it, but it's like at some point it's like there are times when I'm like, I like the music and everything, but sometimes I want to hear some more of the orchestral, to go with the fight scenes and stuff like that. It's like I don't need you to cue up Iggy Pop for me or whatever, all the different stuff that's going on. So so there's that. And then the third thing, this goes to the Kents, but so it's just like it was a little disconcerting just the creative choices they did with the Kents as far as their backgrounds, because I was stationed in Kansas, where supposedly Smallville should be around that area. It's like the kids sound like they should come from Alabama, So, and I was like, that is not what they sound like in Kansas. And then they chose to not have them in a farmhouse, but they're living in like a double wide. And I was like, what is going on here? What are we? It's like, I mean, that is not as big a deal as the accent was, but the accent was really like the minute they started talking and they kept going, I was like, this is Kansas, So that was just a little weird, just a few negatives, but it was really strange for me because I was like, man, it's like we are in Kansas still, right? So what's going on? So it was a little strange.
I gotcha. Well, we're not in Kansas anymore. It says Vince Vaughn in the comedy film from 1996. It turns 30 next year, guys. Get ready. Vince Vaughn, Jon Favreau. Before they were Vince Vaughn and Jon Favreau, that movie turns 30 next year, and I'm so freaking excited to celebrate that movie. Because honest to God, everyone in the studio, and because we were talking about this earlier backstage before we went on air, and including this movie, it's so money they don't even know it. They're like the bear, man. Honestly, I'm telling you, you're money. Anyway, Dustin, you are so freaking money. But I got to know something, Dustin. What are your negatives that stood out to you, if you have any, or if you can remember any? Because I know this movie was a lot to take in 2 hours.
Yeah, no, I have my biggest negative is probably to echo alongside Nems. I immediately was taken back by the portrayal of Ma and Pa Kent. They just played him off to be these absolute ignoramus and flesh bags, just a part of the cast, and it's just like that isn't Ma and Pa Kent. They're like, hello, like talking into the phone and stuff like that. Like,
operate a phone.
Yeah, like, okay, come on. I'm sure they know how to operate a phone. It's just, for me, Ma and Pa Kent, the peak Ma and Pa Kent is the New Adventures of Superman and Lois, like the Dean Cain and those two
Eddie
actors.
Jones and Kay Callan. All right.
Yeah. Those were like the key, like the peak Ma and Pa Kent that I was hoping to see. I felt that they were even better than Smallville's and stuff like that. But it just, to see them just like, I don't know, they just look like Jakey and just I don't know. They just did them so wrong, in my opinion. It's like it just felt like an insult. Like I don't know, not to get like political or anything, but it felt like he was like taking a jab at Republicans, or they're what the typical Republican or whatever would have in mind. It's just like, but that's, I mean, I have family like that is from like West Virginia and all that kind of stuff, and it's like they don't act like that. They just made it seem like cheap and ignorant, like they didn't know what they were doing at all. But so that was a big negative for me, and it really took me out of it. So it was a feat that I somehow got pulled back in, and in time for the, okay, here's how Pa Kent sees Clark and stuff like that. So it's like, okay, I wasn't all there for that conversation, but replaying it and stuff, it's like, okay, all right, yeah, I get that. That's a good one. But That and the dog, the CG animated dog, like just
Crypto.
yeah, it's like come on. That's not how it just. There were times that I would see it like make a facial expression or something, and or like cock his head the wrong way, and it's just like, okay, that's not what dogs normally do. But so just that like slight nitpick, like it's like, all right, well, I know nothing can be perfect, but still, it just that slight little. It's like I don't know. I kind of wish that they had, I don't know, did some training with an actual dog or something. I don't know if that would even work, but
yeah,
you know, but that's the main thing. The other thing that threw me off was that it had like the opening credits, right? It was just like
it was an homage to Richard Donner's. Yeah.
Yeah, so like they had the he's been, Superman for 3 years, blah blah blah.
Oh, the
and
exposition, yeah. Mm-hmm.
yeah, so they did that at the beginning, and they said, okay, well, yeah, blah blah blah. He's a metahuman, and he's the most powerful metahuman. And I'm like, wait a minute, he's not human though. He's an alien from outer space, like. But I know there's been some iterations where they've defined metahuman as just being anyone that has beyond normal human attributes. So I know that they've done that in the past, but just seeing that in the beginning just was like, okay, but he's not. I don't know. You know what I mean? It just threw me off. But that's it. That's really the only negatives I can really say offhand. But
no, I got you, man. I got you. It's all good. Hey, not every flavor of the week is for for
What
everyone.
no.
What I thought was funny was that this version of Crypto would probably get eaten by the version of Crypto from Titans, which was a combination of a real dog and CGI. So
right,
yeah, real dog beats CGI any day of the week.
Yeah,
at least in my opinion. But there's only so much you can do with a real dog when you're on a movie set. Plus, the whole PTA, like the PTA and the animal rights groups, are going to get on you if you use the animal wrong or something were to happen to the dog. If it gets injured, they're going to be all over you like a cheap suit. So that's why it's easier for them to use a CGI dog, because then they're like, well, we didn't really use no actual dogs were used / harmed during the making of this film, right, guys? Because they put that at the end of every movie.
Yeah,
Airbud's coming back. So
yeah. Oh, is that true? Airbud's going to be rebooted.
Yeah, man.
I saw that.
I can't wait.
Hey, Brian, you excited for that Airbud's going to get rebooted?
I'm excited for any dog movie. Honestly, they all make me happy. Yeah, I don't care. They all make me happy. And
they all make me happy.
I know there's been like 27 Airbuds. That's
there's
fine.
27 Airbud movies.
He has a universe, his own Airbud universe.
There's Airbuds, there's Air Puppies, or Air
multiple
Junior.
generations of descendants.
Yeah.
What's it called, Dion? What was the spinoff? Airbuds, Air Buddies.
Yeah,
yeah, something like it was always a golden retrieviever. Golden receiver. Receiver was football.
Yeah, and then it was 7th inning fetch. 7th inning fetch.
Gold, man, just straight.
7th inning fetch, Dustin.
Yeah, we're now at the place where the original one is the ancestors. You know what I mean? Like this has been a while,
which is why I'm so upset that Hollywood is making me feel so old every single flipping day. They announced that Airbud's
embrace it,
rebooted.
Ryan. Just be old.
Well, here's the thing. Did you hear Street Fighter's getting rebooted and half the WWE is going to be in the cast of it?
Well, Cody and Roman are in it.
Yeah, so Cody Rhodes, Roman Reigns are going to be. What is it? Cody Rhodes is Colonel Guile, right? So
he's Guile. That's perfect. He doesn't have to dye his hair,
and he doesn't have to be. He doesn't have to be coked out of his mind like JCVD was when they made the original.
Meanwhile, I'm a living fossil over here, so
I know. Nem's like, what the frack y'all doing to me back here? But no, honestly,
since we know,
yeah, go ahead.
I was gonna say, since we know James Gunn is watching this, though, I have to do this shout out real quick. James Gunn, please bring Breck Messenger back into the DC as Stargirl, please, for God's sake. If we have her, so
God,
you never know.
I mean, do we want to? I don't know. Do we want to have? I don't know.
I want JSA and all that back, but
well, I mean, the fact that they're calling it the Justice Gang and not the Justice League, which clearly it's a bit of a take on Smallville, where Smallville had their version of the Justice League, but Clark says, "What do you call yourselves? A work in progress."
Yeah.
Because that's literally what this movie is like Justice League.
We're a league that does justice.
Yeah.
Say that again.
Yeah. Which, by the way, can we put that on a T-shirt and market that? Can we do that?
Old school Hall of Justice from the Super Friends cartoon. I mean, it doesn't get much better than that.
Which, by the way, I didn't bring this up in the positives, but real quick before I turn things over to Paul here for negatives on the movie of Superman 2025. But when the Hall of Justice showed up, I'm like, oh my God. Yeah. Dude, that's awesome, because I hear the narrator from the original series. Meanwhile, at the Hall of Justice.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
I'm like, dude, where's the faded?
Have you guys actually been there? That's the Cincinnati Museum.
No.
Yeah.
Brian,
I haven't been there, but I know of it.
Have you been there, Brian?
I have my sister and her family lives in Cincinnati, so I've been there before. It's really surreal. So just like be there in front of it, and you're like, it's a real place. Okay.
And did you cue up the Justice League theme when you were standing in front of it?
It was playing in my head, that's for sure.
And if they go full Young Justice and give us the Hall of Justice and then the Watchtower as well, I'm like, take my money.
Yeah.
Dude, if the Watchtower had shown up in this movie, it would have been like, okay, now they're really just pulling out our comic book loving heartstrings. Because when Hall of Justice showed up, Dustin, I thought to myself, oh my God, they're going for this. They're actually going for this. Like, holy crap. And then, and you have this whole room and there's only 3 people sitting there. So I'm like, okay, clearly this is like Justice League before year 1 or right as year 1 is happening, because there's only 3 people and there's like multiple seats that need to be filled at the round table. There's multiple seats that need to be filled. And I'm like, all you have is a Lantern, a Hawk Girl, and a Terrific. You need a heck of a lot more than this. So, which I'm looking forward to seeing what they do with it. But Paul, I'm just curious. Do you have any negatives on this movie, if any?
Couple things. The kind of the pacing of the film itself. I mean, there's just a lot that they needed to cram in.
Yep.
One of the things that I really did kind of like that they did, this could be in the positive if you want to put it there, but there's no backstory on pretty much anyone. It's just, hey, that's Mr. Terrific. You don't know about him? Too bad.
They jump you right into it.
Yeah. And I love that. I see why James Gunn did it, but Jor-El and Mrs. Jor-El, her
Lara.
Yeah.
Lara. AKA, was that Lady Gaga we saw, by the way?
What's that?
Was it Lady Gaga as Lara? Because Bradley Cooper was Jor-El, and the girl looks strangely like Lady Gaga. I'm like, is this a Star is Born reunion here?
No. I don't know
who was Lara. Who was Lara?
I don't know.
Right, someone got it. Someone Googled that for me.
I mean, okay, so Marlon Brando wasn't the best choice, but he brought a certain. There was like a gravitas, almost like a saintly quality to Jor-El and Laura that I grew up with, right? So when I think of them, I think of they're doing this very altruistic thing because no one's listening to them, and they're like, well, we're going to send our son away, and we're doing it because this planet can benefit from having Superman on it. And that didn't work for me until the very end, when he's seeing pictures of his adoptive parents, the Kents, which I'm like, okay, I get it, I get why you did that, but for me, like, I prefer my Kryptonians to be a bit more altruistic and less like invincible, which don't get me started. So that to me, I wasn't crazy about, again, until the end, and it just tied everything together, kind of the crux of the movie about him, choosing his humanity over this, all these fantastic powers that he has, which is, really kind of what we need. And as far as Angela Seraphim, but those are really my only real nitpicks with it. Other than that, I don't really have a lot of bad things to say about it. I thought the Kents were fine. They filmed, it's kind of funny because they filmed that in, I think, Fayetteville, Georgia, which I passed by like every month, and it's like, yeah, it looks just like that. And I'm just like, but yeah, that's it for me. Yeah, not a whole lot of nitpicks on this one.
I gotcha. And yeah,
I was going into this movie knowing I was gonna like it.
Oh,
you know, so it's like it's kind of unfair to ask me what the negatives are when I already had, you know, I was gonna be like a kid,
happy,
you know, sitting there with my popcorn and M&Ms. You know,
yeah,
that was me. Yeah, exactly.
That was like the GIF on social media. Michael Jackson doing this, diving into the popcorn bowl, guys.
So yeah, I mean, like I said, I went in there just knowing I was going to love it, but it was a neat twist, I will say, having them say like, "Oh yeah, you know, rule over them and do all this stuff." But you know, it was just because, like I said, I like them more as kind of saintly, you know, and wise and stuff, you know. But
you know,
I think Bradley Cooper did a good job, though. He did, you know.
Yeah, who'd have thunk that a Rocket Raccoon would play a Kryptonian dad?
It's one of the things I really liked about the Zack Snyder movies. I thought that Russell Crowe was really good as
dude. He should have gotten an Oscar for that.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I'm like you, that like it wasn't my favorite iteration, but I did like Russell Crowe as
so good
as Jor-El.
Yeah,
brilliant.
He was better. You know, I mean, I'll give it to you. You know, he's better than Brando. And,
yeah,
you know,
Brando phoned it in, man.
But I like Brando too. I mean, but
plus the way Brando says Krypton, so
Krypton.
No, it's Krypton. You of the planet Krypton, you have great powers.
And you know what he was doing? Fun fact. He was reading it off of like in that little
cue cards.
pod.
Yeah,
was he reading off of cue cards?
He was. Yeah, he would do that. He would read off of cue cards.
Just like what's his face was doing when they were shooting the Ring Council scene in Lord of the Rings. So Sean Bean was reading the script on his lap, which is why his head is down for the council. Do you remember that, Brian?
Yeah, I do vaguely remember seeing that. Yeah,
one does not simply walk into Mordor, and that's why he's looking at his script because he doesn't know what his lines are.
Yeah.
Sean Bean, man, Sean Bean had to look.
He's probably just sitting there like, look, I know I'm supposed to die. I don't know when.
Yeah. He was probably surprised he was in the movie as long as he was. He was like, "What?"
I know.
Right. I'm usually not this far. I usually don't make it this far to a movie.
It's like I don't make it past the first or second act of this movie, Dustin. What the frack am I doing here?
Right.
Which we're going to be talking about Sean Bean this Christmas when the Bond film Goldeneye turns 30 this year, Dustin. So we're going to be talking about that too.
Nice.
Yeah, which is my favorite Bond film, by the way. Hashtag
mine as well.
Yeah, baby. Yeah. The facts
I still remember.
Are undisputed.
Yeah. I still remember when I saw Sean Bean in Equilibrium for the first time. I was like, "Oh, he's a dead man."
Oh, yeah. Oh God.
anything
he's in,
he's gonna die.
Well, the only thing he doesn't die in, Brian, I got to give you some a little bit of a correction here. He doesn't die in National Treasure. He just gets arrested.
That is true. That is true.
You remember the Nick Cage movie, National Treasure? Yeah. He only gets arrested at the end.
Yeah.
So, I mean, he probably ends up dead in jail, but
it's like Justin Long in horror movies.
Yeah, right.
Ew, Justin Long in horror movies? No,
he never survives. Or I mean, like he always
gets turned into a walrus,
right? Or worse than death. Yes.
Which, by the way, that's a fate worse than death, guys. Yeah. But Justin Long, do me a favor: if you can dodge a wrench, you can dodge a ball. That's all you can do.
Every time I see Justin Long now, I can't get past his appearance in one movie. I don't know if I could say the name of the movie here, but all I'll say is like, "Are you Granny Panties? I loved you on the internet." So.
With that.
Okay. Here's the funny thing about Justin Long that I know him from. The funniest thing that I've seen one of the things I remember him doing is the Mac versus PC commercials.
Yes.
Justin Long was in the Mac versus PC commercials, late 90s, early 2000s. If you go back and watch the footage, they're really quite good. That's good marketing. I think.
Yeah.
Oh no, they were really good.
I think if you take a marketing course in college, you need to watch the Mac versus PC ads to sell a computer. Yeah. I'm not even kidding you. Like that was legitimate. He's like, "Hello, I'm a Mac and I'm a PC. Now I'm a PC too. What? Yeah. See, now you can run Mac OS 10 or Windows on a Mac. So in a way, I'm kind of like the only computer you ever need." Sorry, I'm quoting an ad that's 27 years old.
I gotta applaud that you like memorize those commercials.
For sure.
Oh yeah.
Well, they don't call me Ryan the Quote for no flipping reason now.
You're doing better than Sean Bean in Lord of the Rings, evidently.
Right.
So good job.
Well, you carry the fate of us all, little one. This is the will of the council. Then Gondor will see it done. Sorry, had to quote it, Brian, because Fellowship of the Ring is my favorite of the bunch. So.
It's all one big movie to me.
Well, to you, it's one big movie.
Yeah.
To me,
I
to me, it's
can't
three
pick
separate
between
movies.
them. So
No, it's 3 separate movies, Brian.
it's
3 movies.
No, you're right. It is, but it's one story.
Yeah.
So I count it as one.
Yeesh.
That's how I cheat.
I wouldn't sit down and just watch one.
Would you?
Right.
Well,
It's a commitment, sir.
Yeah, you have to.
Dustin, what are you going to do later? Are you going to? Well, let me ask you this: if you real quick, because we got to keep things on the rails here. But if you're going to do a watch along on the Pilled channel that we have for the Madness Entertainment Group, would you do the theatrical or the extended cuts?
Probably theatrical.
Yeah, I was going to say because the
I mean,
extended cuts, that's a commitment, man.
It is. It is.
I haven't watched theatrical in
I don't know.
years.
Yeah, I haven't either. I don't. No, I only own the extended cuts. Those.
Oh,
That's all I watch.
I own both of them. I own both
Dion knows
theatrical and
what's
extended cuts, Brian. And I've seen. And by the way, I've seen the extended cut of Fellowship of the Ring. Dude, that movie is way better with the 30 minutes they added.
Yeah.
They're all better with the 30 minutes they added.
It's
Absolutely.
way better. Way better. Just my opinion. More people have chimed in. Johnny Dome says Superman himself, David Cornsweet, casted fans as extras within the film. Wow. I did not know that.
Cast, not casted.
Oh, casted fan. Sorry. Zack Snyder was a music video director before he started. Yes. To be fair, also Superman's iteration of Mom Pa Kent couldn't even use video chat, fellas. Yeah, but that's in the comics. I'm talking about in a movie. There has to be a difference. I'm sorry. I like how Pa Kent said something like, "It says more about you than what you saw that message today." That way, which I think I know what scene he's referring to.
Yeah.
Yeah, which wasn't bad. At least the CGI dog was way better than Call of the Wild with Harrison Ford.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. And I have
Do
just
Do you remember
recently
that one,
watched
Dion? Do you remember that one?
I do.
Woo, Dion's like, I can't believe I
I think
spent
unfortunately
$10.50
we
on
all
this.
remember it, Ryan. So
Sorry. Angela Serafian is the one who played Lara in this iteration of Superman. So that's who.
okay.
But it really looked like Lady Gaga. It was like a Bradley Cooper Lady Gaga reunion. But apparently I was dead wrong. Sorry. Once again, we're attempting to review, even though we got off the rails a couple of times already, the Superman version of 2025. Do not forget to like and share. If you have any thoughts, let us know in the comments. If you watching this live on the replay, hello there. There's a reference for you. Negatives from, who am I missing here? Brian Rodman. Any negatives here? Or wait a minute, you don't have any
I think you
negatives.
skipped Dion.
Oh, no, it's Dion. I'm sorry. Dion, what are your negatives if you have any through that thick legal pad in that pen?
Sure. There's a few. There's just a few things. Brian, I'm gonna ask. Can I see everybody while I give my negatives? I love to see facial expressions.
Oh, okay.
I just want to give those out.
You're gonna get reaction shots on Instagram, guys.
Be like, all right. So I
Go ahead.
think I could have done less of the Justice Gang. I don't think I needed them in this movie. I could have taken more of
I get that.
the Daily Planet crew.
Yep.
For
Right.
this one.
Staff of the Daily
Yeah,
Planet.
I could have taken more of that. Which goes into my maybe too many characters. So it goes back to Justice Gang. I wanted Superman to show up with that little boy holding that flag. That would have been.
That would have been
talk
sick.
about
Yeah.
Superman. That would have been it. We haven't even said it. Bizarro was at the end of that. I'm guessing.
Metamorpho.
He was Ultraman at the
Yeah.
end.
Oh,
We're guessing that was Bizarro, right?
Well,
like,
it was.
I'm pretty sure
It wasn't. It was a
it looked
clone
like.
of. It was a clone of Kal-El that just happened to work for Lex.
Might become Bizarro. So I think.
I
Yeah.
don't think so. But it was because we learned that Luke, or not Luke. God, I'm thinking of Star Wars. Lex took a strand of his hair and got the DNA, and he created an army of Superman clones.
Personally, I think he's going to become Doomsday, but that's my opinion.
I hope that doesn't happen. That's
I'm okay if
easy.
it doesn't. I'm just saying. I think it might.
Don't do it.
They
Anyway.
Just
did
because
that
the
route
ultimate
in
costume looked like him.
Yeah.
So
right.
Yeah. What were you gonna say, Dustin? I'm sorry.
No, I'm just gonna say they did go that route in
What was it?
Superman and Lois.
Superman and Lois.
Oh, Superman and
Yeah.
Lois. Yeah.
And so I think it, but I don't know. It's a little bit
possibility.
different
It either
because it
might
had
be
he had the
because they
same
did it-
powers.
Yeah.
They don't want to copy Superman and Lois. You got to differentiate yourself from the other iterations.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm with Dion. I think if he comes back out of the black hole, he's going to be Bizarro. So
I could totally see that.
If he's Bizarro, just don't make him the butt of every joke. Just make him threatening, make him a menace. I mean, he's obviously going to have his issues, obviously, but don't make him so comedic that it takes me out of the movie.
I don't think they will. Well, you never know. But that leads
It
me
is
to
James
my
Gunn,
other,
though, Dion.
Well,
He
that
has an
leads
act
me
for
to my other
comedy.
that leads me to my other
Oh,
negative.
go ahead.
Unfortunately, I'm not that big of a fan of James Gunn's humor
Yeah.
at times. It works for Guardians. It didn't work fully for me for Superman. And he
Yeah.
loves to take like the ragtag bunch of groups, and that's where he thrives. And I went to the movie for the guy whose name's on the movie, and I wanted more of that guy throughout this movie. Yeah, he just does his humor. Some of his humor didn't work. Again, the golly thing got me. I loved it. But then there's other stuff that was weaved within the movie where it's like, okay, this would have worked better for Guardians, or just felt like it pulled from Guardians.
Yeah.
And just to sort of know like where we're going with the DC, well, with DCU, with Supergirl and stuff, you sort of, we're going back in outer space, so it's going to be like pretty much his wheelhouse, right? But yeah, his humor doesn't really get it for me. Again, I thought everybody in this picture, in this poster, were great as those characters.
Yeah.
I don't know if putting them in a Superman movie to start it off was the best part. But like I said, like everybody said, we've been in this game for 3 years now. Like Superman's been here for metahumans exist. Like all of this is a foundational piece. So it makes sense that, you know, there's a group together already, or they're trying to form a group. It makes complete sense. But for a Superman movie, after we just had all the stuff that happened with the DCEU,
right?
Let's stand strong on Superman, man. He is the superhero. I think he can carry a movie by himself.
Right.
He did it in 2013.
Yeah. So those are my little nitpick things here. There, the plot twist there, you could sort of feel that one coming when they said we didn't know what the other piece of the message was. So when I heard that, my ears sort of perked up because I was like, are they a wrestling turf at reference? They're gonna turn him heel? Like I was like, is that what's happening? Like, are they gonna turn his parents heel? And they turn heel in the middle of the movie. I'm like, okay, so
it went full Dragon Ball Z.
It was
no.
It really did. No, it really did. Goku was supposed to be
Goku.
You know, Goku was supposed to take over the earth.
Who the heck is a Goku?
It was, but I will say it wasn't.
We don't talk about no DBZ on this show.
It was it was a different feel from like that savior sort of feel from Man of Steel,
right?
To this sort of finding like the humanity of him choosing that, which I think either Paul or Nim said about that. So that was pretty dope. So just a few nitpicking things here for me. Again, me and DC, we're still dating, man. Like we're still. I haven't committed fully.
You haven't got an engagement ring yet? If you love it, put a ring on it. If you love it, put a ring on it.
I don't even know if
we already moved in my house.
I have to get up and start doing the fiance dance.
I was gonna say. Listen, let me put it to you this way, brother. Let me tell you something, Dion. I've been married to DC since 2006 when the 100th episode of Smallville dropped on my face. Because when I saw that show and it got me through a difficult time in my life, I was like, give me all the DC you can give me.
But this iteration of DC, like the movie part here, we went through the DCU. I was committed. I was like, okay, and they kept playing around with me.
It was complicated. It was complicated.
Exactly. So for this version of it, DC, I love it. You know this, right?
Yeah, you do.
For this,
I can see the posters behind you.
We're just dating, you know.
Dating. We're not married yet, but you know.
Let's see how Batman turns out.
We haven't gotten the monogram
I'll
house.
let you know.
We didn't get the big house with the big picket fence, you know.
Yeah, we're just dating. Just give me some time, man. I was hurt before.
I
want to get hurt again.
You're waiting to see what the ring looks like. So
wow.
Exactly.
All right.
How many carrots, man?
I mean, I've been married to DC. I mean, overall, not counting the movies, but overall, I've been married to DC.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Dude, Smallville is still the GOAT for me. It's my number one. It got me through one of the hardest, difficult times. I don't know if you guys have heard the True Hollywood Story, but it's there. It was hard. But that show and its characters got me through that period. And not only that, I realized how relatable Clark Kent is as a character. Everybody says, "Oh, Superman, this god's-like figure. He's not relatable. I can't relate to." No, you can.
Yeah,
you can relate to Superman. He is more relatable than half the comic book characters in this world. Read the comics. Read Superman Birthright. Read Kingdom Come. Read Superman Red Sun, which is a what-if scenario. It's like read this stuff. Read what Nem is attempting to point to in 50 different corners of his room. Like, read it all. Read it all. And then he's going to grab all 50 books, which is a shame because I don't have all 50 books.
Rereading it right now. So.
Booyah, baby. That is my favorite graphic novel of all time. That is what made me the comic fan that I am today. So, Kingdom Come for president. Anyway.
Yeah.
By the way, Brian, let's talk about this for a minute. So, negatives, right? Do you have any negatives for this, or did we go to you yet, or have you shared yet?
No. I think so. For me,
let it out.
Negatives,
therapy. Just let it out. Okay.
So I didn't mind. I didn't mind the Justice Gang being in the movie. I think I could totally understand that, like, why that would, kind of take away from it a little bit because it's a Superman movie. But for me, like, I don't know. For me, I'm always like, when they do the solo movies and we know that the other heroes exist, I'm always like, where are they when all this end of the world catastrophe stuff is happening? Like, that was like back in the Snyderverse days when Suicide Squad, the first one, came out. Like, the whole time I'm going, where are all the heroes in all this? And so I don't know. Like, that was just, to me, I liked that. I liked the Justice Gang being there, so that wasn't an issue. But I agree that I wish they would have had more Daily Planet folks. I miss that. Like, Perry White was great for the 5 seconds he was in the movie. You know what I mean? Like, I loved everybody's performance. Jimmy was good. Jimmy was in it quite a bit, but like Lombard, Cat Grant,
yeah,
they're just kind of like scenery almost, and I didn't like that. I wish there was a lot more of them in it. So I'm an extended cut fan, and I mean, I would have been fine if it was 2.5 hours and that extra half hour was a little bit of Daily Planet stuff just sprinkled in. I think that would have made all the difference for me, honestly. And I gotta say, not that this was like, this didn't by any means cast a shadow over the movie for me or anything like that, but I too love the Jor-El Clark connection that has been specifically since the Donner movie came out, and I just you didn't have that at all, which is fine. I think it worked, but I missed it. And I did like, I didn't mind the twist with Jor-El and Laura, but I just, I hope they flesh it out a little bit more somehow. I don't know how. I don't know what that looks like.
Yeah,
but,
like recover the full message or something. Yeah.
And I don't know. I think it would be a little more interesting to kind of go into the parents a little bit more. I don't know. I like seeing Jor-El in the movies more. I loved Russell Crowe and I liked Brando. I thought those two were just, I don't know. And then of course Smallville, Jor-El is all throughout the show, and so it just, I don't know. That was a big thing that I missed in this one. So and I will say, I didn't mind how the Kents were portrayed. I live in Kentucky, I get it, but like, it's
bluegrass state.
Yeah, like, so like I get it, but like, I don't know. Once they showed up and they were there, I was okay. But it was a little jarring. It was a little bit. It was like, ooh, these are very different Ma and Pa Kent that we're all used to. So
right.
I did. It didn't really strike me, any certain way other than just like, oh, okay, this is different. My preference is Jonathan and Martha from Smallville. Yeah. That I think is the best iteration for me.
Yeah.
And they were nothing like that. So it was just, but I didn't mind them in it. They definitely grew on me very quickly. So, and I think maybe the more we see them in future movies, the more we'll accept and enjoy what we have. So, like I said, nothing to write off the movie at all, but little things that I just noticed along the way.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get that. And it once again, this is why I'm so happy to be friends with people who understand how great of a show Smallville is,
Hmm.
because it's so flipping good, man. One of these days, I hope to meet John Schneider and tell him how much the show impacted me. And I said, hey, man, your episode, the 100th episode, Reckoning, if you know what I'm talking about.
Yep.
Dude, your performance, the way it came all together and how it like made Clark question what's going to come for him in his future, because at that point, you know, you passed away.
They talked about it on when they talked about it on
Okay.
Talkville.
Yeah.
Very good.
Oh,
Very good.
Man, I watch it every week. Yeah.
I
tune in every
figured
week.
you did.
Yeah, baby. Dude, you know where they are right now, right? They're finally in my favorite season of the show. They're in season 7, the Supergirl season, baby.
That's your favorite season? Is it
Yeah,
because
dude,
of Supergirl?
dude,
Okay.
when my
Because I
when
feel
my
like everything
future-
else in that season just kind of fell apart for me.
Well, no,
Yeah.
no. Well, here's the thing.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. When my future wife showed up, and I didn't know who she was at the time, but when my future wife showed up, Laura Vandervoort shows up. I'm like, okay, this show is turning things up to 11. It's adding Supergirl to the mix. It's nothing like the horrible Helen Slater version we got in the 80s. This is a Supergirl I want to see. I will pay money.
She was
You know-
very good in the show. She
Dude,
was
she
like the only
killed
good
it.
part of that season to
She
me, though.
killed it.
So-
Yeah.
So good.
Yeah.
No, listen, I understand why I had. Well, listen, season 7 was made during the writer's strike, so the last.
Oh, I
5
know. Yeah, I
episodes-
get why it
you
was
can't
not.
you
the greatest.
can't put too much blame on the episodes because they had to come up with something very quickly in the last part of the season
Yeah.
because of the writer's strike. So, but I think it all came together despite the fact that all the shows were having problems.
Mhm.
Smallville came together really well despite the writer's strike in season 7.
Oh, and then
Right.
we got the chef's kiss that was 8, 9, and 10.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Daily
Yeah,
Planet,
absolutely.
Lois Lane, Clark
Yeah.
Kent, Intrepid Reporters, Bullpen. You know, Clark flirting
Yep.
with Lois flirting with Ken a little bit, and then, dude, let me tell you something real quick, because I want to keep this on the rails here, even though I'm very good at keeping it off. But the scene at the end of the season premiere of season 8, where she's sitting in the bullpen trying to type up her story, and Clark has got the, you know, the squeaky
Yeah.
chair, and Lois
Yeah.
is like, Clark says, "Oh, I'm sorry, is this bothering you? The chair or you in it?" and then Clark says, "Hey Lois, I just want to apologize. I just want to tell you did really well out there. You really showed your skills. You got your skills really well at your dad's boot camp." And she says, "Well, as for you, for this being your first attempt at heroism, you didn't do a bad job, Smallville." And then when he's about to walk away, he says, "I got to get going. I'll see you bright and early Monday morning." Whoa. What do you mean Monday morning? What do you mean bright and early? Lois, you're the one who gave me the application. You're looking at the newest recruit to the Daily Planet. And dude, as soon as he drops that, I'm like, oh my God, we're finally getting it. And then she says, well, where are you going to be? You going to be starting down the mailroom? Going to be a little closer to home. It's like we're going to be neighbors, Lane. Picks up the name tag. Clark Kent's on the desk right across from her, Dustin. And she says, you got to be kidding me. And then it fades to black. And I'm like, mwah. Yes, we are getting. Why am I friends with this guy? Oh my God. But dude, Dion, go back and watch season 8, man. Go back and watch it.
I will say, if you do go back and watch it, the cheese is heavy. Just
Who
so you
cares?
know.
Oh,
But it
sure.
works.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
it works.
It's so
It
good.
works.
It's so good. Dion, go back and watch that shiznit, brother. I'm telling
We'll
you.
do. I'll put it on the list.
The list. You just made the list. Sorry, there's a yeah for y'all. But let's dive into this here. So negatives for moi, yours truly, the master of this show. Here's my problems I had. Yeah, the Kents were portrayed as people who don't understand technology, don't understand how phones work. I was like, excuse me, Mom and Pa Kent are smarter than the average bear. Why are
Right.
you making them act as if they don't know how to use a cell phone? That was a bit upsetting. That threw me off, Dustin. Another thing I didn't like was, and this is my speculation. We don't have any evidence to back me up, but this is my speculation on the message that Jor-El sent to Kal-El. Jor-El and Laura, excuse me. They weren't telling him to be the Lord of the people. That message was when, as soon as Lex got it, he manipulated the message. And he posted it on social media to make the people go against Kal-El, which is why Lex hates Kal-El so much. He is willing to go to any lengths to make the people hate him. He's willing to go to any lengths. So in my opinion, Brian, that Kryptonian message, the second part of it anyway, was manipulated by Lex Luthor.
Could be. Who
It
knows?
was manipulated because in no way, shape, or form, in my opinion, of all the iterations of Laura and Jor-El that I've seen on screen and in the comics, nowhere does it say, Kal-El, we want you to be the ruler of Earth and take over the planet. No.
Didn't
No,
Mr.
no.
Terrific say that like they checked it or Luther checked it? Like it's legit?
Yeah,
Like,
he did
legit-
in the
legit.
movie.
No, but
so.
Luther sent it. Like Luther
Yeah.
did all the manipulating. He sent it to all the people.
But in my opinion, it's possible. Who knows what the engineer could have
He
done? But
manipulated
I
it.
don't know. To me, it's fine. I'm fine with how it is. I
No,
know.
I'm not.
Yeah.
Jor-El and Lara would never tell their son to kill
Ryan's
human
like,
beings and be the
don't
Lord of the
betray
Earth.
me like this.
No, that's what I'm saying. The parents of Kal-El would never tell their own son that, hey, we want you to take over the earth and just rule over everything. No, they wouldn't. No, they wouldn't. They want him to be a savior. They want him to be a symbol of hope. That's what the symbol means. The symbol of House of El means hope. So he is a symbol of hope, Brian. He is not a symbol of, I'm going to rule over you, punk.
I agree with
and
you.
if you don't do what I say, I'm going to break your freaking neck like I did to Zod.
Yeah.
All right? I'm going to break your neck, son. So yeah, he manipulated the message. I didn't like that. But
we'll see. We'll see what happens.
Another thing I didn't like about this movie, whoever she was, Eve, I think her name, the one who was obsessed with taking selfies of herself and giving
Miss
Jimmy the
Tessmacher.
Miss
information and
Tessmacher.
being OCD. It was Miss Tessmacher. Okay, the fact that she was OCD with Jimmy and she's a very, very aggressive, head on, like full on, like, I love you, Jimmy. We could be together forever. What the frack is going on here? What the frack is going on? That character was so annoying, so dumb, that I'm surprised that Luther didn't take a gun out of his own back pocket, Dustin, and put a bullet between her eyes 10 minutes into the movie. Of how
All I'm
annoying
going to
she
say
was.
is this. I don't know what Jimmy's bringing to the table, but he has got Eve Tessmacher all Twitter pated. So
I don't
man,
care.
he is-
I don't care.
Apparently, a lot more than just her.
Whatever. That's another thing I didn't like
He's
about this
got
movie
it.
either. The fact that Jimmy is some kind of weirdo chick magnet, and that all the women
I thought it
apparently
was
want
funny.
him, and Eve Tessmacher wants to like marry him and bear his children. I'm like, what the frack is this? What the frack are you doing, James Gunn?
It's a creative choice, but I think Jimmy's borderline Dirk Diggler in this universe. But
I don't care. I think, honestly, listen, I like the fact that Jimmy plays a key role in this movie because I think Jimmy gets
Yes.
underutilized in a lot of
Yeah.
generations of Superman, Dustin. But my problem with him was you use him to be the majestical boyfriend of Eve, who's obsessed with doing, let me take a selfie, take a selfie, take a selfie, take a selfie. I'm like, no, I don't want to see this. Get out of here. You're annoying. Get her out of here.
I don't know if it's true, but I
She was
saw an update that apparently they're potentially going to do a Jimmy Olsen Mr. Terrific
but
show.
they're going to do
Was
a
that
Jimmy Olsen show, but I saw. I was in San Diego last week, Comic-Con,
Uh-huh.
and
Yeah.
they expanded on it.
Mhm.
What they're going to do? At first, I was like, "What? You're going to do a what on a what?" And then they said what they're going to do is just going to be like a Jimmy Olsen Presents type show where he is presenting stories of metahumans through the DC universe. So like
Oh,
he's
that's
any
cool.
kind of reporter. So
Hmm.
I was like,
So it's like a reporter
that.
recapping his story. Okay.
I like that.
yeah.
That's pretty cool.
and then I was like, okay, I can dig that. If you're going to
That's not
show
bad.
me the exploits and times of Jimmy Olsen, I don't think I'm down with that. But,
Well, here's the thing. Here's the thing. If they show me one more scene of Eve trying to grope Jimmy and make out with him or have sex in the middle of the street corner, get me the heck out of this train, Dustin, because I don't want any part of it. I like Jimmy. I think the actor who's playing him is fine. He works, but the whole subplot between him and Monster Toes, which is how she's labeled in his phone, Dustin, Monster Toes or Mutant Toes, whatever it was.
Yeah.
I'm just like, this is one of the dumbest ideas that James Gunn has ever had, and I pray to God that he does away with her in the sequel.
I didn't list it as a negative, but both my wife and I, though, did have this reaction to Jimmy, which was we're used to Jimmy being the younger, either the young reporter like the kid, or at least he's younger than everybody else. For our money, we looked at the actor who played Jimmy. He looked older than David Cornsweet and Rachel Brosnahan. He looked older than everybody. So we were like, it was a little weird. So
Maybe.
Yeah, so
I don't know. Anybody have the numbers on that? But yeah, no, it was weird. So I didn't like her character. I thought she was horribly used. Didn't need to be there. That's almost. It's not as bad as the casting of Mark Zuckerberg as Lex Luthor in the BVS Dawn of Justice movie, but it's pretty close. It's pretty close. I'm like, I don't know who this actress is. I don't give a heck about what she's doing. I want her out of my studio, out of my lot, out of the storyline. She adds nothing but pain. Nothing but pain. She is like the Brock Lesnar of this movie. She is the one who brings the pain, Dustin, and I don't like it. All right? So
we did find out a little bit like she was smarter than she put on though. Like
Oh
her
yeah, she's
selfies,
taking the selfies of
her
all the
selfies
stuff.
was
yeah.
all like that was
the maps,
purposefully.
the maps,
Yeah.
the maps. Yeah.
Poor
She came through with a source there, Dion. But at the same time, I'm like, just fire this woman, get her off my set.
Poor Jesse Eisenberg is never going to live that role down. Man.
You mean Mark Zuckerberg?
Yeah.
Mark Zuckerberg.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yes, I'm
Zuckerberg
sorry.
was Lex Luthor. So let's be honest here. No, I'm just kidding. I know what you mean. It was Jesse Eisenberg, just to be clear. But yeah, no, she was. That's the biggest negative for me is the Eve character was a total waste of film, total waste of money. They never should have put her in the film. I think Jimmy would have found this stuff on his own or had a different source. It would have been a much better movie. I think in a way.
Yeah.
In a way, I think it would have been better served for the story if it was a different kind of source than Mutant Toes.
Yeah, I don't even get the
James
reason.
Gunn humor.
It's stupid.
Yeah, I don't. That's
Stupid.
another thing that I just don't get. Like,
Dumb.
Yeah.
I didn't like it, but so that was the biggest negative for yours truly. My name is Ryan of Van Eyck Quote, by the way. So what I'm trying to think of what else. Yeah, the Kents were like, don't treat them like that. They have more intelligence than that. Get over it. What was it? The Justice Gang, they were fine, but I kind of agree they didn't need to be in this movie because I really wanted this movie to be 100% a straight up Superman movie with nobody else in it because they did it so well, in my opinion, anyway, with Man of Steel. Despite the fact that Brian was probably thinking, "Hey, Metropolis, 2/3 of it's getting destroyed. Where's everybody else?"
Yeah, I mean, to me, that's just always where my mind goes when you have the interconnected universe.
Where's Green
I'm just like,
Lantern when
where are all
Kal-El's
these other
destroying
people?
half the city?
I'm down with Brian. I'm like, they're seeing all this on TV. Where
It
is
makes sense.
everybody just
Yeah, I mean, Doomsday was breaking up that island
Yeah.
in BVS, and she saw it on TV, and she was about to get on a flight to who knows where. And finally, she realized, oh wait, I should probably stick around because this monster's going to kill everybody, right, Dion? It's like Wonder Woman can't leave.
Yeah.
You know, otherwise we wouldn't have gotten that epic shot of the whole DC Trinity walking up to Doomsday and being like, "Hey, this is a creature from my world. Let's kill it." And then the theme song kicks in. Anyway, that was great. By the way, Dustin, we all lost our minds when we saw all three of them in the same shot. We lost our minds. Everyone lost their minds in the theater. Whether the movie was good or not, you have to admit that was a geek fist pump.
Oh, that was a
moment.
money shot. That was
a money shot, baby. Yeah. We were all going nuts. By the way, people are going nuts in the chat. You want to know why? Because we got to give them the attention. Would be cool if we got Flamebird or Nightwing, not Grayson and not Beepo or Beppo. Is that what it is? Beepo from Legends of Tomorrow. Is that who you're thinking of? Not sure. Eternal should have shown up when Thanos was there in the MCU during Endgame and Infinity War. I don't know about that because we all heard the Eternals movie was garbage.
It wasn't bad as
I heard it was garbage.
I
never
don't think it
saw
was as bad.
I've heard it was bad, but I don't know.
I heard
watched
it was garbage.
I was entertained for
it.
2 hours.
I think I liked it because everybody said it was so bad, and I expected it to be horrible. I was like, "This isn't bad."
It's not as bad as it. Yeah.
No,
Yeah,
I was like, "This isn't that bad."
And then Dion walked out of the theater thinking, "Oh yeah, this movie is actually quite good. It's not terrible."
Well, I heard Blade's voice at the end, so I was like, that was worth the price.
And then you never heard him or saw him again. And I'm
until Deadpool and Wolverine. Deadpool and Wolverine, he shows up.
And
Remember,
now we're
Dion?
never gonna
There's only
get
ever
the
going to be one.
Mahershala
No,
Ali
they're
movie.
starting it back up, bro. I think they're starting
Are
it back
they
up.
though? I don't
They're
believe
not.
it until he's
Dion,
on
Dion,
screen.
they're not. They're not going to restart it. They're not
I
gonna
gotta
restart
believe in something.
I
They're
want it
teasing
so
you.
bad.
it. They're
I
not going to
want
make a
it
new
so
Blade
bad.
movie because, as Wesley Snipes said on record, there's only ever going to be one Blade.
He's so
Dion.
old.
Who
Let
cares?
him get his. He can get his Logan story.
That's what
Yeah,
I'm saying.
man,
Dion,
that's
Dion,
great.
we can
We
get
can
Old
do
Man Blade. Old Man Blade comes out
His
next
Logan
year. Let's
story.
go.
That's fine. I love Wesley Snipes' Blade. Blade's my favorite Marvel character.
See,
I love
that's his favorite Marvel character.
but
guys.
like, come on. Ali being Blade is just something I've wanted.
Well,
since
perfect.
now.
Can I be honest
It's
with you?
perfect.
Can I
Yeah.
be honest with you? Can I be honest with you? I like Marshall Ali because I've seen him in enough things to know that he is a very versatile actor, Brian.
Mhm.
But did you see the movie he was in a couple weeks ago called Jurassic World?
I have not seen that. No.
Didn't go over too well, man.
Oh, you can't put all that on him.
You can't win them all.
You put all that on him.
No,
in there,
no, and you can't put it on Black Widow, aka ScarJo, being the lead of that movie.
I
And,
mean, you
and by
could
the
put
way,
it on the fact that it's how many Jurassic movies so far?
75 movies, Dion, 75 Jurassic World movies. Which, by the way, did you know this is the only movie in the history of her filmography where Scarlett Johansson could not wear makeup on set?
I'm just gonna say, when the first Jurassic Park movie came out, I was in my 20s and still had all my hair. So
we're still going.
Ryan still has
First
a full
one
head
is
of
the
hair.
only one I acknowledge.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, none
Pretty
of
much.
See, Dustin still has a full head of hair behind the cowboy hat. So
Yeah.
Which, by the way, giddy up, cowboy. That's awesome. I would be fine with this iteration of Jor-El if Supergirl's parents are of a different opinion on that
Okay.
message.
Question.
Zor-El, I think is his name.
Real question.
Yeah, go ahead.
Would she have known? Okay, somebody help me out here.
Go ahead.
Okay.
Ooh, I've thought about it, so
What's the
I
question?
might have an opinion.
What's the question?
Oh, would she know? Like that was part of the message, or that's the plan of like the Kryptonian people. Like I don't know. Was she there first? Like, did her ship get off course? Like, what's the story behind Supergirl, and why doesn't
we don't know
she
that yet.
know?
We
I
don't
think
know.
we'll find out in the Supergirl movie.
The movie.
My theory is
Yeah.
I think she showed up late,
Mm-hmm.
which is
Customary.
Yeah.
It happens in the
she
comics.
showed up late. She saw
It's in the
what
comics.
Clark had become.
Yep.
And just didn't say anything.
That's
what I think. No, I could be completely wrong. I mean, who knows?
It's a theory.
But like
It's a theory, Dion.
that's my thought. I think she saw it. She's like, oh, he's like a hero. So I'm just not going to say a word, you know. And I mean, she would have known that the recording was messed up, all that stuff. So I think maybe she just didn't say anything. I mean, she clearly is not dependable. So
dude,
so
she
I
is
don't
not
know.
dependable at all.
I could see it, and I think that might be why she's so messed up.
Hmm.
I think she came from this civilization, and now I don't know. Who knows?
Like if that was the goal of the civilization too, like if that was the mission statement for Krypton, like that.
I don't know. I have no idea where they're gonna go with it.
Yeah,
I don't want to take us off the rails, but I got a theory as well.
Sorry.
But,
no, go ahead.
Yeah, my theory is that she's a teenager. She was sitting along. I don't think she knows anything, and I think the reason she's out drinking and partying is because, having raised 3 teenagers now, it's like you're sitting teenagers along. She lost her parents. She lost her friends. She lost her planet. She lost her, her culture.
She's
and
upset.
then the one thing she was supposed to do was take care of her baby cousin Jor-El, and she's off course. She shows up, and now her cousin is 15 years older than her. She's got nothing. So now she's like, well, now what am I going to do? Well, I guess I'm going to go to Red Sun Plants and party. Because she's looking for herself. So
a very woman of tomorrow. Yeah.
And I think you're spot on there. I really do.
Could be,
especially on what she's doing to cope.
Yeah. Because I mean, compared to Cal's a baby. He didn't know from anything what he lost.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
He lucked out. Honestly, like he got lucky.
Yeah.
And Ryan, I don't want to trigger you, but when I brought up Dragon Ball Z earlier, I'm just saying.
I'm kidding.
Like, yeah. Well,
we mention anime and manga all the time on different shows of this channel.
Who knows what direction that they're gonna go
we
with
don't know
Krypton.
Yet.
Like it could be
it's only one
kind of they were maybe they did take over other worlds. Maybe they weren't evil.
So maybe
they were like, I don't know.
Like Vegeta.
If you look at recent
all
iterations,
maybe they weren't like Vegeta, but maybe they were like, we will come and show you what's civilized. Maybe they were just colonizers, right? Like maybe that was what it was.
Maybe.
Who knows?
After the animated series stuff, if you look at recent iteration of Kryptonians in animation and in the comics, Kryptonians are all feared and hated because they were the people that were conquering other planets until they
look at Zod. Look what Zod did.
Yeah. So Krypton is at whoever their publicist is not been doing a good job because their reputation has gone downhill. So
I mean, I don't know. No, it's a valid point. There's so many, and that's another thing too. All we can do now is speculate. We don't know. We don't know where this honestly. And that brings us, to the second part of the question before we get to the third part, because these days, Sydney, you got to make a sequel and do a 3-part question, Sydney. The second part of this question is those are my negatives. And the other negative I had was when certain scenes were going on and music kicks in, I'm like, we don't need the music. We don't need the punk rock or music. Give me orchestral, like John Williams cover, or let Mr. Terrific do some dialogue while he's doing this with his hands and throwing the balls at people's faces and killing them to death. Or Lois is like, what are you doing? I am saving your life, woman. And then he's just moving his hands like a sphere, like this. I would have liked that. I would have liked that. I don't need the music in certain parts, James Gunn.
Yeah.
Or if you're going to put the music on there, at least at the end, have the good courtesy to do the MTV thing at the bottom where it says, where the
Yeah,
music
I
video
want my
says.
MTV, Dion. I want my MTV. Call this number 1-800-MTV 545-6946.
You know, honestly, had that happened, I wouldn't have been surprised, and I think it would have been hilarious.
Call 1-800 I want my MTV, Dustin.
It's like,
I'll tell you
I
what.
want to be a big rocker, a Iggy Pop, blah blah blah.
Yeah, I didn't like the music cues in certain scenes. I mean, overall, it doesn't take me out. It doesn't ruin the movie for me, but it was a nitpick / negative for me. That's just me. By the way, we didn't mention this yet, but another DC Legacy character that shows up is Metamorpho. He makes a huge difference, turning his arm from kryptonite into a balling huge light bulb of a sun to recharge Kal-El and get him out of the cage. So not only can he save his son, but he can also try to save all the other people and alien creatures who are being held in this pocket dimension prison, which is nuts. That Lex
I have a question.
Crazy that he would imprison all, including human beings, Dustin.
Right. So I have a question. The boat, the ferryman, the thing that took Lex,
Mr. Handsome.
Mr. Handsome.
Yeah, Mr. Handsome.
Yeah.
Was that a white Martian?
No, it was a failed
No.
clone. A failed clone. It was supposed to, canonically it's Lex's first attempt at cloning.
Really?
And it's one of the only things he actually kind of cares about.
Huh.
It was a lot of fun.
I will say real
didn't know it
quick
was
before we get to the third part of the show.
Yeah.
No one has mentioned the fact that while they freed all the other people and everything, there are now a whole troop of edgelord monkeys running around our planet with watching them. So
and doing the hashtags super shit.
Yeah.
So,
Super bad, right, Dion? Super bad. Super bad human.
so
I can't believe that Lex made a bunch of monkeys the manipulators of the internet and said, hey, let's just trash Superman with monkeys. What do you think this is, James Gunn? A ripoff of Jumanji? What is this?
He would be the type to do that, though. I mean, he also stole he also stole 40 cakes.
All right. Well, that was a nitpick of mine, that I didn't like the fact that monkeys were manipulating Earth's internet and saying that Superman was a bad person that needs to be killed off. So I didn't like that. By the way, another DC Legacy character shows up, Rick Flag, played by Frank Grillo. Frank Grillo's in it.
I love him in it. I'm excited.
Frank Grillo is kind of being the voice of reason within the council, right, Brian? So I think Flag is going to play a very pivotal role moving forward. I mean, maybe the Suicide Squad will show up, and maybe a different iteration of a Suicide Squad is going to make an appearance, and Rick Flag's going to be the leader of that pack. So who knows? And by the way, it's Frank Grillo. He can play good. He can play bad. He can play both sides of the coin.
Yeah.
So. But yeah, he was good. Frank Grillo shows up in the movie. I was like, hey, it's Flag. I know that character. I've seen him in other iterations of DC. But yeah, no. And another thing I liked about this movie was they paid homage. I mean, listen, I wish one thing I would have liked to have seen, although it doesn't ruin the movie for me, I would have liked to have seen them try their hand at an original score and not just do covers of John Williams. Although I understand why they did covers of John Williams, because people had a bad, not everybody, but certain people didn't like the taste of the Snyderverse. And certain people may not have liked Hans Zimmer's theme, even though Hans Zimmer's a freaking awesome man, but they may not have liked the Hans Zimmer score, Dustin. So that's why they did covers and incorporated little instrumental stuff in this new iteration, which, by the way, like that was awesome. I was like, you know what? Chris Reeve is watching this from above, and he's probably smiling from ear to ear because of the theme being used. And John Williams is probably smiling too, because I didn't mind the cover.
He's probably getting a cut.
He's definitely smiling because of that.
Yeah, royalties, or among other things, Brian. Yes, a giant treasure trove of money. But no, they could have used their own score, but I liked what they got. And the other thing that didn't bother me, even though it was an interesting take on Superman, is I'm a punk rocker. Yes, I am. I'm a punk rocker. Yes, I am. I'm like, oh, he likes punk rock? Really? Superman likes punk rock? Get the frack out of here. But it doesn't bother me because him and Lois kind of have different or similar taste in music, so that doesn't bother me. And when she shows up in the purple and black outfit, I was like, James Gunn, you did your homework.
Mm-hmm.
You did your homework. You did your homework. And it's a floating kiss above the sky. I was like, yeah. And then they drop the 3 words you're never supposed to say to somebody unless you absolutely positively mean it. I love you. So, they fell in love at the end, guys. So that's a happy ending, right? That's And when Supergirl shows up, I'm like, this is a way different take on the Lady of Tomorrow than I thought there was going to be. But I'm curious where they're going to go with it. I didn't hate her being drunk. It didn't bother me. But it did kind of make me wonder, James, what are you doing to my girl over here? Because I'm a huge Laura Vandervoort fan, and I don't want you to make this like give Laura and the other iterations of Supergirl a bad name. But I don't think he will. It's because it's year one. She's young. She doesn't know what she's doing. She's foolish. She needs to learn from her mistakes and grow as a hero and as a human being. So that part I can see. Other than that, those are the negatives I have for the movie. But on a scale of 1 to 10, as far as my final thoughts go, 7 out of 10 for this movie. I like it. I may not have loved it, but then again, I've only seen it once, fellas. I've only seen it once. I got to go back and revisit it. I got to watch it a couple more times, see if it grows on me. Maybe that punk rocker soundtrack will grow on me. I don't know. But 7 out of 10. I like the cast. I'm going to shake James Gunn's hand when I see him on the street and say, congratulations. You made a good movie. I respect you now. I may not like you yet, but I respect you. I don't like you yet. We're not going to be, you know what I mean, Dion? It's not going to be like we're dating, but I'm going to walk up to him and say, you know what? I think there's potential here. I think there is. And I'm curious to see where this goes. And the fact that you already got Green Lanterns and Hawk Girls and, Mr. Terrific's roaming around, that's interesting.
Yeah.
I want to see where he's going to go with this.
I'm excited. Looking forward to the Green Lantern show.
That's another thing I was going to bring up too. We'll get to it at the end of Future of DC, but the Lantern series is going to be coming out with Kyle Chandler as a grizzled, hardened version of Hal Jordan, an African-American actor whose name doesn't come to me right now. He's playing John Stewart, a young version of John Stewart.
Yeah, Aaron Pierre.
Aaron Pierre, thank you.
Yeah,
I'm excited.
I need him and Hawk Girl to have a romance.
Yes.
If they adapt that from JLU, that's going to be something else, brother. Yeah, I'm down for it. I'm not saying it's a bad thing because normally we're so used to seeing the Hawkman with the Hawk Girl, but I'm okay with Hawk Girl putting the moves on Green Lantern there. Yeah. But here's the thing, though. I don't think this is ever going to happen, Brian. But what if? Just bear with me. What if Batman shows up and he's having a conversation with Green Lantern? And he says, "Diana's a remarkable woman. She's a valued friend. She's standing right behind me, isn't she?" Boom,
Nice.
boom. JLU Easter egg.
That is
Booyah.
another romance that I would love to see happen.
You
as
want
well.
to see Batman?
They kind of did it in the Snyderverse. I was a fan of it, man. I thought it was cool.
They didn't exactly do it, but they hinted at it.
Yeah.
Think about what you just quoted. They were in a cafeteria with that's Batman, Wonder Woman, and Green Lantern in a cafeteria on the Watchtower. That's wild, man.
Yeah.
Do you want,
that's just how it.
But
That's
let me
just a 9 to 5 lunchtime.
That's a noon.
You know.
Dion. Let me ask you this though. Be serious with me for a minute. Would you want to see that on a big screen one day?
For sure, man. Come on.
Would you eat it up with a spoon?
Honestly, they should have just pulled everything from the animated series and stuff. Anyway.
I'm totally fine with that.
Pull it up, man.
Do it.
Well, by the way, real quick, I like the cameo of Christopher Reeve's son as the newscaster. That was nice.
Yeah.
Will Reeve shows up reporting on the metahumans in the middle of the street. Did you guys see that?
Yeah, that was
a nice little homage and a respectable tribute to the late great Christopher Reeve. So let's give it up for Christopher and his family.
And he looks just like his dad. It's weird,
dude. Yeah, people were saying for years that he should have been the new Superman. I'm like, you know what? Would have been awesome. Yeah, but at the same time, he's not an actor.
Right.
Yeah,
he's not an actor, and you can't force someone to be an actor in one day, Brian.
Yeah.
You just can't. So I respect him for saying, I like you guys, but I'm okay being a newscaster for Good Morning America. I'm good where I am. I'm fine. Thank you.
Yeah.
How are you? So final thoughts, Nem. Scale 1 to 10 for Superman 2025. And what are your final thoughts in this bad boy before I go to part 3 of the question?
I'm just going to say I'll give it a solid 8.5 out of 10.
That's a good number. That's a high number.
I think it's a very enjoyable movie. I think it is a very good launching point for the new DCU, along with Creature Commandos. I am hopeful, and I haven't been able to say that for a while, and it hasn't been for whatever reason. It's nobody's fault, but DC's been in the backwoods. So now I am, I'm ready. So I am hopeful. So good job.
I understood that reference. The symbol of Hasabel means hope. Sorry. I got Man of Steel tattooed in my brain because I saw it 5 times in the theater and I rewatched it leading up to the release of this movie. Mm-hmm. Yeah, baby. I'm a Henry Cavill defender. Anyway, Dustin, my man, the man in the cowboy hat, the man with the iconic hat that cannot be topped. I'm giving you too much
final thoughts.
On scale 1 to 10, what do you got?
So, sure, I had negatives You know, but overall, I'd give it a 7 out of 10.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
I got to rewatch it some more, and
we got to do some more therapy sessions. We got to sit down.
7 out of 10, still really good.
I know we got to
it's
do
solid,
we got to
yeah.
do more of a analysis when you've had a chance to see it 3 or 4 more times.
To put this into perspective,
go ahead.
Man of Steel is a 10 in my book. So
he said it.
It's not a 10 worthy in my opinion, but I think
understandable.
If I give it some more time, maybe watch it a few more times, it can get up there, you know.
It's okay, Dustin. I still like you, and I won't kill your D&D character. I want to say so. You know?
Hey, Dustin, there's always room for growth, brother. That's why we're here. That's why we do these shows. And by the way, if you ever want to do a commentary on the madness, if Pops is watching this, we can do a watch along on one of our streaming services for the channel, and talk about Superman then. So
yeah,
we can have all you guys. We can have Brian. We can have Dion show up for a session. We can have Paul sit in on it. I think we should do that. Do a commentary. That might be a good idea, Brian. I don't know.
As long as my asthma cooperates, you know.
That's what I'm saying, man. Got to make sure you're at your the peak condition. Paul Landry, the man who knows how to write better stories than I could ever write, even though I just got my first story published a few weeks ago. What's up?
Yeah, don't sell yourself short, man.
I know.
Congratulations, by the way.
I got a Western published, and now I'm like some sort of published author now, so I don't know how that happens. I don't know.
It's too fancy for us, guys.
I'm too fancy for these outfits. But Paul, what are your final thoughts on a scale of 1 to 10?
So,
what you given
for
the movie?
me, Superman the movie is 10. Is a 10 out of 10.
Oh.
Christopher Reeve.
Superman.
Mm-hmm. So, and this one is a 9.
It?
Yeah, for me, definitely. And because it's everything that I wanted in a modern Superman film. It hit on all the points that I needed it to hit on. And I love the soundtrack, so I don't care. I listened to that Iggy Pop song until I wore out all the dopamine in it. I still do every time I'm, I drive a lot for work, so that's usually one of the first songs I put on in the car now. Gets me going, so yeah, I mean that, and I'm excited about where the universe that they're building is going. The week after we saw Superman, we watched Creature Commandos. We were only gonna watch 1 or 2 episodes, but then the next thing we knew, we blew through all of them, and I'm like, why is it going to be so long before we get season 2? Because this is amazing, and I really like the universe that they're building up, and it's just they're not afraid to be a little silly, and this one for me was, it gave me the same sense of kind of excitement like when Iron Man came out, and I was like, oh my God, I can't wait to see what's next, so that's kind of, that's the 9 out of 10.
Yeah,
that's awesome. That's awesome.
I can dig it. Yeah, more people are in the chat before I dive into the other comments. Yeah, Rocking Your Bald, aka Jen, what's up? We haven't seen you in forever. She says, Aaron Pierre, that Mufasa. Ooh, do it again. Mufasa. Ooh, do it again. Mufasa. Anyway, that movie never happened. Rufus says, good evening, all. He's Rocking Your Bald says, that's what's so sweet. I'm not sure what exactly you were referring to earlier on. I apologize. But she also gives this movie a 10 out of 10, Dion.
Thanks.
Jen gives it a 10. A 10.
I know she loved it.
Well, how many times have you seen this movie, Jen? Let us know. Rufus Gavin says, I give it a 10. A 10. That's a quote from Varsity Blues, in case you were wondering. Johnny Dome says, Man of Steel is too much of a slow burn. I think this iteration of Superman is easier to watch multiple times.
It does have a lot of rewatchability, I will say that. Yeah, because I saw it twice already.
Yeah.
And when it comes out on streaming, or when the Blu-ray comes out, I'm sure I'll watch it a lot more.
I've heard people say they've already seen it 5 times in the first 3 weeks. So.
Really?
4.
You've seen it 4. How many times have you seen it, Dion?
Just the one.
Just the one. I have too much to do, man.
Seen it in IMAX, Dolby, and then I went to 40X around here, which was, if you got 40X around you, go see it.
I do, but I only saw it in standard high definition. I didn't see it in IMAX, which I probably should have seen in IMAX, to be perfectly honest with you. I think that would have enhanced my experience even more. Rocking Your Ball says, I agree. She's seen it twice. She's seen it twice. Okay. The sweet comment was for Bill Reeves. Oh, okay. Gotcha. Or Will Reeves. Yeah. Showing up in the movie. Yeah, that was sweet. Yeah, it was. No, I get it. I completely get it. Who are we missing here? Dion, I think it is. Dion, do you have any final thoughts on a scale 1 to 10? What are you going to give Superman 2025? Not the other 50 iterations, but this one.
Yeah, quick. It was the Superman that we needed.
Mhm.
Just with this new DCU. I was a great. He's a great Superman. It was a good movie for me. So just a 7.5 for me. I think it was the one that we needed. It was a palate cleanser to a degree, and yeah, I'm hopeful. Well, we're still dating. We will see how
God.
it goes. Okay, so yeah, that's where I'm at. 7.5.
We're still dating. I don't know where this is going.
You're
We'll
attracted.
just see, man. Like I don't want to get burnt again. That's all.
Hey, look,
don't
man,
wanna
Warner
commit-
Brothers burned us bad.
Dude,
last
the
time,
last
I don't
so-
wanna
12
commit, like-
years, they have made so
I
many
get it.
mistakes. And by the way, not all of those mistakes were Snyder's. There was studio
Oh.
interference. There were cooks in the kitchen.
Most
Yeah,
of
I
them
just-
weren't. I don't
By the way,
think.
Brian,
Beyond.
Warner's was messing with Zack Snyder's vision, and I hated them for that.
Oh yeah.
So, and to be perfectly honest with you, I wish we would have gotten more from the Snyderverse had he had complete control and not studio interference and creative differences behind the scenes. And obviously, he had the family tragedy that he had to deal with, of course. So let's not take that away from him. But still, yeah, the last 12 years have been rough on us as DC fans, movie-wise.
Yeah.
But we did get a few
And-
shining stars in the midst of all of it. But overall, you're right, Dion. This is a palate cleanser. It's like, hey, we're starting over. We're going to start from scratch. We're going to see where this goes, and hopefully, the audience will tune in. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm
And
just
to
gonna
be
take my time.
fair, Zack Snyder's Justice League is about 5,000% better than the version
Oh, for
that
sure.
released in theaters.
You mean the
So,
Josh,
Oh,
the
yeah.
Frankenstein's monster version
yeah,
of
Oh.
Justice?
so-
Oh, by the way,
Yeah.
some people call it on social media. They call it the Justice League, not the Justice.
Yeah.
That's
League.
what it. Yeah, it's
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
terrible.
It's horrible.
Is it terrible, horrible, no good, very bad movie, Brian? Is that what it is?
It's the worst movie I've ever
Facts.
seen in theaters.
See what I did there? There's a children's book from the past.
Would have loved to just get like a Batfleck movie though. That's
Dude,
all.
Yeah.
Yes.
Dude,
That would've been
Directed
it.
by Ben Affleck.
That would
Yeah.
have
Yeah.
been it.
Brian,
That would have been
Brian,
great.
written, produced, directed,
Yes.
and starring Ben Affleck as Batman.
We were supposed to have it, and it didn't work.
Still
And
the
you
best
should have
That
got
would've
it.
been it.
Dustin,
still the
Dustin,
best
Dustin would
on-screen
Dustin would have been
Batman
there
fight
opening
scene.
day.
Yes.
ever was the warehouse scene.
Well, the
I
warehouse
agree.
scene
That's
in
my
BBS.
dime.
I
The
agree.
warehouse scene in BBS where he's breaking that guy's arm.
Well,
and
just-
breaking,
Yeah.
Just him jumping off the Batwing in through a window.
Yeah.
Like that moment alone was like
Yeah.
a comic book panel.
Well,
Yeah.
He
Yeah.
used gadgets to disable the guns. He
Yeah.
did it.
He was the perfect Frank Miller Batman
Well, what-
in live action.
What about the homage to Dark Knight Returns when he jumps onto the ledge with the grappling hook
And
there's
the
a
lightning?
and the lightning
Yeah.
comes out and it's like,
So
hey,
good.
hey, I know that image. That's
Yeah.
that's Dark Knight Returns from what's his face from Frank,
Well,
Frank Miller and everybody.
And Batfleck was very different, right? Like just he
He
did
was
more
brilliant.
comic book sort of stuff.
He was
And he
like,
didn't give a
even-
shit.
And he used his grappling hook to actually move around. Like
Yeah.
like okay, The Flash was a terrible movie, but him coming out of that fireball, I'm
Oh,
like that's
so
the Batman
cool.
I've always
Yes.
wanted.
Brian was
Because-
happy that day.
Because real
So
world
cool.
Batman has been done so much now. Like Pattinson and Nolan did such a great job with like
Mhm.
Batman if he existed within this world.
Mhm,
Let
mhm.
me do some other stuff, man. Like let me
Yeah.
get back Ben Affleck as Batman and doing that stuff again. So
I
I'm
would have liked to
hoping
have seen it. I would have liked to.
I'm hoping when this Batman hits this DCU, he's a little bit more like that, where like physics don't matter sometimes.
Physics
It's
don't
like,
matter,
it's
guys.
like James Gunn said this, and I completely agreed.
Yeah, what did
He
he
said,
say?
you know what we've done in the past is let's put the superheroes in our world,
Right.
but this is bringing us to their world.
That would be
Okay.
great.
And I was
A
like,
comic
that's
book
what
world.
it should be.
Yeah.
Right.
Put
So-
that in my
yeah.
veins. Put that in my veins. So-
Yeah.
Mhm.
Well, you
I
can-
love
yeah,
that he said that.
that's fair. I can give you that. And then Rocking Your Bald is laughing at us because we said
That
so
makes
many
me hopeful.
We've
Yeah.
said so many funny things in the last 10 minutes, guys, that she's laughing at everything that we're saying. So thank you, Jen. Love you. And then she says, in order for Superman, then Peacemaker season 2, then Lanterns and Supergirl, then Clay. Apparently they're making a Clayface movie. I don't know how the frack that's gonna work.
It's supposed
gonna be a horror movie.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's supposed to be a body
Yeah.
horror movie.
Well,
What's her
let me
point?
ask you
Rami-
this. Let me ask you
Rami
this. Do we
Malek?
know who's playing
I don't know.
Clayface?
Yeah,
Was it
they
Rami
announced
Malek?
it. I
Is
don't
it
know
really?
who it is, but
I thought
they
it was
announced
going to be CGI and Ron Perlman was going to reprise his role as Clayface.
I wish that would
I
have
would
been
just-
awesome.
I
Isn't
would
Ron
just
Perlman
laugh.
coming back?
Yeah,
If we
I
did
don't know.
a-
He's like 75. I don't think he's gonna be
I-
Clayface.
No,
Yeah.
but he looks like he's 45.
What I want from a Clayface is just at some point do a callback to Justice where Clayface shows up as as Black Canary and was wearing the wig, and Green Arrow's like, oh, it's gonna be that kind of night. Then I was laughing my ass off. So it's like, yeah, Brian knows what I'm talking about. So
Wow. Okay. Well, we can only go up from here. But what was it? Did I miss somebody? I think it was Brian. Final thoughts on Superman 2025 on a scale of 1 to 10.
I think I'm gonna go 8.5. It was a really good movie. It's definitely the Superman movie we need. Overall, I was very happy with it. I was tempted to go 9 out of 10, honestly, but I'm gonna go more conservative just because I'm still kind of riding the high from watching it. But I mean, hey, I did walk out of the theater and buy the Blu-ray. So I mean,
you pre-ordered it.
Well,
yeah. Well, you bought it pre-order. It's all the same. It's all
good
the
as
same
done.
thing, which
But
is
yeah,
what I have to
I
do
mean,
too.
So it's it takes it for me. Anything that's 7 and up is a good movie. So yeah, 8.5 for me. I think.
I'm not sure who this is. Tom Reese Harries as the new iteration of Clayface. I don't know who that is.
I don't know
who that is. But let me see. Johnny Dome says, even though Edward Norton was trying to do more at Marvel than Marvel didn't want him to do, I feel DC should bring Edward Norton in because DC is doing the auteur filmmaking. I don't know if they're doing auteur filmmaking, but if they can handle his ego and his demands and all the other stuff that Edward Norton wants out of life, more power to you. He could play a good Clayface. Edward Norton can do it. He can turn on the darkness. I mean, he's done it before. He can do it again. Who knows?
Oh, wow.
I
I
was
think
like,
he is casted.
He's what?
What'd you say, Dion?
Oh, no, the Tom Reese Harris guy.
Yeah.
What was he? He was in 1917.
Oh, the war movie.
One of the, but he wasn't the main.
Oh, he was one of the
character from there, I
soldiers
don't
within the movie?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. 1917 was a good movie. That was all filmed in one continuous
Very good movie.
shot. Did you guys
Yeah.
know that? That was all one continuous shot.
Oh wow.
2 hours. That was the first time Hollywood's ever done a continuous shot movie.
I did not know that. That's crazy.
It's
Yeah.
one continuous
Wow.
shot for 2 straight hours. It's nothing but this one camera following both characters.
Jeez.
Can
That's
you believe they
crazy.
did that, Brian? That's something that Hollywood has never done.
Yeah, because it's ridiculously hard to do.
Yeah.
Ridiculously hard to do. And you thought writing Memoirs of an Angel, the Great Pilgrim into a 600 plus or 700, 800, however many pages it is novel was a challenge. Making a movie with one camera and 2 characters.
Yeah, I couldn't even dream of doing that. Good
Could you?
grief. No way.
Well. Let me see. Not sure what it is yet, but if it's more if the script is good, Gunn will get to it. So if Edward Norton writes something good, I would be open for it. Look, listen, I'm one of the few people who's willing to admit this on national television. I think The Incredible Hulk is a criminally underrated film.
yep.
I
I
agree.
love
Yeah,
that
I
movie.
like that one.
Yeah, it's
And
a good
Edward
one.
Norton did what he could with it, and I think he did a really good job as Banner. He did an even better job as Hulk. And the Hulk versus Abomination fight in the middle of I kind of broke Harlem.
Yeah.
At the end of the movie, Dustin, I was cheering. I was like, dude, I was going all Shia LaBeouf's on this scene. I was like, just do it.
Right.
Yeah.
Norton's
That
problem
walk
is
up-
he needs
that
to
walk
just get out of his own way because he loses out on so much because he just can't shut up.
Yeah.
Like, that's his
Yeah.
biggest problem.
Well, if they bring
Yeah.
him into DC, I could see him as Clayface. So
No, that Hulk Abomination walk up was dope.
Oh,
The
yeah.
ripped shirt, he took the rest of it off and kept walking. I was
Uh-huh.
like,
is that what? It is?
okay, there's
Yeah.
stuff like that gets me, man. It's like,
Mhm.
Well, I mean, you know,
It was the closest we were getting to Bixby, and I really like that.
for sure.
Gee Willikers, did we just lose somebody? Who did we lose?
Yeah.
Yeah, we just
Brian.
Brian.
Weird.
Brian, come back here. Brian, come back here. Brian, you're so money. You don't even know it, Brian. Anyway. So hopefully Brian will come back. I don't know what just happened. Brian, we hope you're okay and you're safe and you're sound and you come back to the studio here momentarily. But let's go over what we is going to happen for these fellas at DC because we do have a schedule here that I want to share with you all if we can.
Yes.
So here's what we got. This is the schedule that's tentatively being put together. So we got Peacemaker season 2. That's coming up. Supergirl is going to hit theaters everywhere on June 26th of 2026. So that's the one I'm most looking forward to seeing because it's an extension of Kal-El and it's an extension of the House of El. And as you guys know, I'm a giant Superman fan.
Mm-hmm.
So, oh, he says my internet just went out. So, man, Brian, you had one job, man. One job. Brian, I hope your internet comes back and you can come back and join us because we're talking about the future lineup of DCU. But anyway, Supergirl looks good. I mean, even though it's only been a cameo appearance, I need to see the trailer first.
Yeah.
But the Batman Part 2 with Shiny Vampire Kid Robert Pattinson comes out October 1st of 2027. We got to wait another 2 years. 2 years for this, Dion. That is unacceptable to me.
Didn't that show just go in pre-production this week?
Yeah, they started shooting it, right, Dion? Didn't they just start shooting Batman Part 2?
I suppose. I mean,
sure. Then, yeah, we all know that movies go into development hell. Lantern's TV series is going to hit the airwaves in early of 2026, which is great. I'm looking forward to that because Coach Eric Taylor from Friday Night Lights is a hardened and more grizzled Hal Jordan. Clear eyes, full hearts. Can't lose, Dustin. They can't lose. So, and then Rocking Your Bald says, yes, they just started filming the Batman Part 2. Yeah. All right. Thank you for confirming that, Jen. Appreciate you. You're awesome. Dynamic duo animated Robin origin movie. Why do we need that? I don't know why we need that. We don't need that. Mr. Miracle apparently is going to be an animated series in production. Mr. Miracle?
Yeah, I like that.
That's interesting. Batman the Brave and the Bold is being rebooted apparently. Creature Commandos Part 2 is going to happen because I believe
that's the Batman movie. I think that's the one for the DCU.
Yeah.
Oh, for the James Gunn iteration of Batman.
Yeah.
That's what they're calling it right now, Brave and Bold. So.
Oh wow, well, that's the big question, isn't it, fellas? Who is going to play the new Dark Knight?
Or at least
the Dark Knight for the DCU, because apparently Robert Pattinson movies are still going to be made, but then this other Batman's going to show up.
It's Elseworld stuff, man. So
and see, and this is the main rub, that it's like, okay, you have the whole Pattinson universe, which is apparently in a separate universe, but so why can't you just let the Snyder fans have their way too and get the Snyderverse back and do stuff with them? Like, come on, let's do it. But
yeah, it's by the way, Brian says, hey fellas, my internet went out unfortunately, so I'm running on data now on my phone. All right, hopefully you come back to us, man, because we miss you. It's not the same without Brian Rahman in the house. Let's see. So Batman's got a new Batman coming out with Batman the Brave and the Bold for DCU, specifically James Gunn's version. The Authority, not sure what the frack that is. Swamp Thing, they tried that on the CW, didn't work out too well.
It was expensive. It was good, but it was expensive.
Good series, yeah.
Don't know if this new iteration will work, but then again, it's in development, so a lot of things can happen between now and then. Teen Titans movies in development. Okay, good luck with that, because we've had like 5 different iterations of the Teen Titans in the last 20 years, on TV anyway. Bane Deathstroke movie is in development. That's interesting. They're going to bring back what's his face from the Arrowverse to play Deathstroke. Manu Bennett. Is Manu Bennett going to show up, Dion?
Crixus? I don't know.
Crixus? What do you mean Crixus? Yeah, from Spartacus.
Yeah, man.
Wonder Woman movie is in development. Well, the question on my mind for that is, who's going to be the new Wonder Woman?
Right.
Just make it a woman who looks like an Amazon. That's what I would like.
Well, what if they brought in an unknown actress to play Diana, and then they made Linda Carter her mother?
Yeah, it could work.
This lineup just screams James Gunn to me.
Does it? Do you think any of these are going to remotely happen, though, or do you think some of these are going to happen and the rest won't?
Well, we know, like, there will be a Batman, there will be a Wonder Woman. It's just how long we have to wait between that.
I think,
especially if 2027 you get Batman 2, So I don't even think you're gonna get him well after that. I feel
think
like
the Authority is gonna fall off. Nobody who reads comics likes the Authority. So for the most part, so it's like.
But I mean, he did the same thing with Guardians, though. He helped Guardians become, like, if you look at comics now, or any like Guardians merch or anything or whatever, they look like the James Gunn versions now. Like, they have embraced that. That's the Guardians now. Okay. But I just said this looks very James Gunn, just because it's a whole bunch of characters who are, like, we can get in, like, if we're talking phases,
get into the weeds here.
3, 4, 5 down the road, man.
Yeah, I was going to say they're not going to put this in what is known, if they're going to make a phase 1 of the DCU. This isn't going to be phase 1, guys. This is going to be like phase 1 through 7. So, which, by the way, there's also a what do we see listed here on the screen? We have a Amanda Waller TV series that's in development. That's not going to work. Booster Gold, good luck with that. Paradise Lost, is that a Themyscira thing? Is that what Themyscira is?
Yeah.
Okay. That sounded interesting.
Okay.
It's a Wonder Woman arc. It's good.
All right, if
Mhm.
it's a Wonder Woman thing that we've never seen before and it's a different spin on it a little bit, I'm okay with that. Blue Beetle animated series, we'll see what happens. Harley Quinn and other animated titles. Once again, this is all in development, so we don't know. Constantine 2, was there a Constantine 1?
I got a
Yeah, with
problem
Keanu
with
Reeves.
this. Yeah.
They're going to
It's
make a Keanu Reeves sequel. Is that true?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Has Keanu Reeves gone on record by saying, yes, I'm coming back?
Yes. He's been pushing for it.
Wow.
But that's my favorite DC character is John Constantine. I'm like, I like that movie, but that wasn't John Constantine. So
Glenn Powell as Booster
the
Gold.
casting.
I can totally see it.
So, Brian, not to plug a show or anything, but we did fantasy cast the DCU on All-Star Fandom. So we had AI create, put these, Glenn Powell in a Booster Gold suit.
Oh, God.
I'm sorry, man. If they don't cast him today for it.
Well, did the movie come out yet? His remake of Running Man, is that out yet?
No.
Not yet.
Because that movie looks insane.
He's having a hell of a run, man. These last 2-3 years for Glenn Powell have been great.
Twisters, anybody?
Yeah.
Twisters, and what was the other one? Top Gun Maverick. He was in Rom-Com not too long ago. He's been in a bunch of stuff.
Yeah.
But Constantine 2 with John Wick. People keep asking me if I'm back, and I haven't really given them an answer. But now, I'm thinking I'm back, Dustin. All right, fine. Good luck with it. I didn't really care much for the movie Constantine. I liked Matt Ryan's version on TV.
Yeah, agreed.
Personally, but I don't know. If it's John Wick playing Constantine and beating the crap out of people, I can see him doing it.
Yeah, for sure.
He's pushing 65, Dustin, but he can still break people's necks, right?
Yeah.
Sergeant Rock has been canceled, so that's not happening. Gotham PD / Arkham TV series possibly canceled. I hope it is because we already had a Gotham TV series not too long ago.
Wasn't that supposed to be part of the Batman universe with the Penguin and all that? Like the Elseworld?
Right.
You're right. Right.
And that's, I don't know.
This is why we still dating, man. I'm sorry.
This is why we're still dating, man.
This is why we're still dating.
But this is what we have here. For those of you watching or listening to us at home, this is the list of what has been in development or things that we do know that are officially going to happen within this new iteration of what is known as the DCU. I like to call it the DC Cinematic Universe primarily. But I'm looking forward to Lanterns because I like Kyle Chandler a lot. I've been a fan of his since the Friday Night Lights days.
Yep.
I'm looking forward to Batman the Brave and the Bold because I want to see who the new Batman in this DCU is going to be. Now that we know that it's not going to be Pattinson because that's an Elseworlds movie apparently.
Mm-hmm.
So that's something I'm looking forward to. The Wonder Woman movie all depends on the casting in the first trailer for me. That's all I'm going to say.
Mm-hmm.
Let me see. Paradise Lost as a spinoff to Wonder Woman. I'm fine with it because I want to see more circles or elements of the DCU that haven't been explored yet or haven't been explored enough.
Yeah.
And I think there's a couple of things you could do with Themyscirians. So I don't know. It really depends on who you cast, who's going to be writing it, who's directing it. It's all speculation and hearsay. So
I think between all of those, they should cast and film a series of internet shorts that they release on their channel with the question investigating different parts of the DCU, introducing you to it, and getting hyped for it. So
that wouldn't be a bad idea. That's a nice little spin-off idea, right? So yeah, there you go. That's the list. I'm looking forward to seeing where this goes. I mean, once again, we've only had one movie, so it's really too soon to tell.
Yeah.
But I like the guy. I like
Superman.
David. I like Rachel. I like certain members of the cast. I want them to get rid of Eve Tefsmacher and get her out of my life forever, and make Jimmy a normal human being and not a chick magnet. But as soon as you course correct that, James Gunn, which I know you're listening to this because you take notes every time I give them to you. You're going to take notes. You're going to correct the mistakes you made in the first movie, which is fine. We all make mistakes. We can't bat 1,000. And we're going to course correct a little bit. And then when Superman 2 comes out, it's going to be even better. And not only that, I'm looking forward to Supergirl. I want to see what this new actress, Millie Alcock, is going to bring to the table. She's beautiful. I think the suit looks good on her. I think it looks good. I think she's going to be able to lay the smacketh down on Evil's candy ass when she has the right training from her cousin, Kal-El. Rocking your ball. There were mistakes made in Superman 2025, and I discussed this earlier on in this telecast, which you are more than welcome to go back and watch the replay on. It's called The Negatives. Most of us here had some negatives to say about this movie, so go back. Feel free to go back and rewind the tape. Strike that, reverse it. There you go. There's your Willy Wonka reference. So I'm looking forward to seeing where this goes, fellas. DC
Yeah.
is off to not a great start, but they're off to a good enough start to where I can say I'm curious. In the words of
Hopeful.
our good, well, here's the thing, Dustin. In the words of our good friend Leo, you had my curiosity, but now you have my attention. There you go. There's a Leo DiCaprio reference for you. But yeah, no, I'm looking forward to this. Anyone else have any thoughts on what's coming for the DCU moving forward, or have any speculations on what they may be doing, or maybe some of the casting they may throw into the corner?
I'll just say I think they set up a good potential Superboy spinoff. Like Superboy could be in the next one because, Lex finally will get out of prison and he's going to be like, okay, well, that's screwed up. So I'm going to use the other part of Superman's DNA with my brain. So that way he's not so dumb. And boom, there's Superboy.
Yeah.
I can see it.
That's a theory, guys. That's a theory.
I would just say I hope they keep leading into the roster of what they've got. So it's like you got Batman. You don't need to give me Joker again. Give me Ventriloquist. That'd be an amazing movie.
Give us a different iteration of Toy Man.
Yeah, or give me the new Superman movie when it comes out. Give me Metallo. Give me Parasite.
Yeah, I want to see
Brainiac.
Yeah,
Brainiac.
That's another one, Dustin. We never got a Brainiac.
Right.
And then eventually,
come on.
If you ever get to Doomsday, give me some new gods too. Give me some Orion coming.
Right.
Pay tribute to Jack Kirby and what he gave us with New God.
And that Mr. Miracle movie. Don't give me just Mr. Miracle. I want to see Big Barda and cast a big woman.
For sure.
Yeah.
Well, I heard a lawsuit was settled recently with a certain studio and a certain actress. So if they want to bring her into the mix as Big Barda, they could.
But,
they could.
It's like,
they could bring Gina Carano into the mix, Dion. I don't know.
Yeah, dip into your roster because, like I said,
there's a huge catalog.
Yeah.
You know what else I'd like to see, guys? I'd like to see the Question.
Yeah. There you go.
Why don't we get to see him?
Yeah.
Or what do we get to see? What do we see a romantic entanglement between what is it? The Question and what's her name? Not
Huntress.
Black Canary.
Huntress.
The Huntress. Yeah. What if we get a romantic entanglement between the Question and the Huntress, like they did on Justice League Unlimited, Dion? How about that?
Bring in Vixen. Bring in Wanna Beast. There you go.
If you bring in Vixen, then we're really going to spice things up. Let me just put it to you that way.
Animal Man.
Anyone? What about you, Dion? Paul? You guys got any speculations on what they could be doing, or maybe something you'd like to see in the DCU moving forward? Maybe a character that hasn't shown up yet, or maybe a casting choice you want to see?
I mean, it's like Nim said. Like when it comes to your superheroes, go into the villain's bag a little deeper than before. Like that's a plus. Like Bane from Santa Prisca. How about that? Like that'd be great. Something like that would be great. Like Batman has one of the best rogue galleries ever, and so does DC. Like in general, for their big superheroes or their big name ones. Let's dive into that bag, man, because we've only seen some of them on like the CW series that they dip into here and there. Like they dipped in like far for some of them there, but yeah, you got all these villains. Let's tell those stories too. Joker can wait. Like we don't need him right now.
I don't think we're gonna ever need the Joker in the DCU. Honestly, I think that this franchise, this whole cinematic universe can thrive without him because there's so many different characters that never had a time in the sun. Why don't we get a new Victor Fries? Why don't we get a new Pamela Isley?
There you go.
Sure. So yeah, that's what I'm looking forward to the most.
Let's do that.
Tell me different stories with other villains other than what all the same stuff that they've sort of given us before.
Yeah. We need a new Victor Fries.
Mark Strong or Giancarlo Esposito. Esposito. Yes, thank you.
As who?
You're not taking me to the cooler.
As Freeze.
Oh.
Either one of those two would be excellent, Mr. Freeze.
And I don't know how that Batgirl movie was going to be, but I was dying thinking of actually getting to finally see, and now the name escaped me, the Brendan Fraser role, whoever he's going to play. The guy who sets fires. Firefly.
Firefly, yeah.
Well, Rocking Your Ball, it says Mark Strong is her vote for Mr. Freeze. So
either one of them could be fantastic.
Giancarlo Esposito, I mean, he could just walk up to anybody and say, "You have something I want."
Right.
Because he's done
You
it
know-
so well as Moff Gideon in Mandalorian, Dustin.
Yeah.
You know who I could see Giancarlo Esposito playing is Black Mask.
Ooh.
That would be really good.
That'd
How
be
about that
interesting,
one,
yeah.
Paul? How about that one? You can see that one rolling around? Maybe. I don't know. Any thoughts on this, Paul? You're awfully quiet over there.
Yeah, I mean, because you guys are saying exactly what I'm thinking, so it's not like,
We're mind readers, guys.
I have nothing of value to really add. Just go back to, you have an entire
Library.
of characters that you can use.
I want to see all of them.
I'm pretty sure that in the background, and this is one of the other things
go
about
ahead.
this movie that I really like.
Yeah.
In the background of the Hall of Justice, they had Miss Liberty Bell. Like, come on.
Yeah.
Oh
There's
yeah,
so
I
many
didn't even
things that you
notice
can
that.
do that. I would as a huge Captain Marvel fan, I want to see their iteration of Captain Marvel. I will not call him Shazam. That is
Sorry.
No, he will always be Captain Marvel to me.
Captain Marvel.
Amen. Preach.
Captain
Hey,
Marvel and anybody?
You gotta
Oh,
see
look at his
this-
tattoo. Look at the tattoo, guys. You see that?
Nice.
You see that?
Nice.
And I want to see how they're going to do that. But the only thing I wish that they would do is make the personalities distinct, and lean more on the wisdom of Solomon, make
The wisdom of Solomon.
give him more of that, make him less of a buffoon and get a better actor to play him.
Less of a buffoon.
Yeah, because I mean, it's like he turns into an adult and then he's acting more like a kid. And then when he's a kid, he acts more like an adult. And it's like, that's not how this.
It's kind of like a weird version of Chuck from NBC. Oh, wait, that's the same actor, Zachary Levi. Sorry.
Yeah.
And Dion shaking his head. It's like, why did you have to bring up Chuck?
All I know is I riot if I don't get a version of Condiment King by 2030.
Oh, God.
Knowing James Gunn, he's somewhere.
Well, here's the thing.
You're
If
right.
you can bring in Polka Dot Man and make him sympathetic in a Suicide Squad movie,
Yeah.
then you can probably do it in a, what do you call it? What character is Polka Dot Man primarily known for? Is he a Superman, Batman villain? What is he?
Batman.
He's a Batman
Batman,
villain. So you
yeah.
can put him in a Batman movie.
Yeah.
Almost easily. You just have to recast him because you can't use the same. I don't think you can use the same guy from the. Even though James Gunn directed it, but still.
Yeah.
They can't use the same actors, can they? Does that mean Margot Robbie's never going to be Harley Quinn again?
Yeah. I don't know.
They've already done the same actors. Nathan Fillion was in the Suicide Squad movie.
Oh yeah, that's right. But who was he in Suicide Squad?
Javelin Man.
Oh, okay, so they can recast the same actor to play a different role. Never mind.
Yeah.
And
they
Dion's
put
like,
over-
nope. I want different actors. Don't
No,
give me the
'cause
same
at-
five.
Well, because at first it was like James Gunn was going to be picking and choosing what he
Hold on.
wanted to keep.
Yeah.
That was the idea at the beginning, but I don't know if that's the same
I'm
thing
sorry.
now.
He wasn't Javelin Man. He was the guy whose arms detach. And
Ugh.
So,
Yeah, that was gross. I didn't like that. That was a little too gross. But then again, all of them die in the first 5 minutes of the freaking movie, and I'm like, okay, clearly this DC Cinematic Universe Suicide Squad is pulling no punches, right, Dion?
Yeah.
It's just killing everybody left and right. For show. By the way, Emerald Crusader says, I personally am looking forward to the new Green Lantern reboot, or I think you mean the Green Lantern series. GL got done so dirty the last go around. Well, yeah, because it's Ryan freaking I Can't Act My Way Out of a Paper Bag Reynolds.
Thank you. Okay,
but-
good.
but
Yeah, I'm glad
Mark
you said that.
Mark Strong was great as Sinestro, though.
Yes.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean the movie was any better.
No,
The
no.
movie was terrible. And the sad thing is, fellas, the sad thing about that movie is that was directed by the Bond veteran director himself, Martin freaking Campbell. Because he directed GoldenEye and Casino Royale. He rebooted James Bond twice. Successfully, I might add. Twice.
Sometimes you just have an off day.
Dion, that wasn't an off day. He didn't even show up to work.
You
Okay,
never know what the studio did to it either.
that's true. I heard there was studio interference when Green Lantern came out.
It's
guys.
always WB, man. WB is their own worst enemy. Like they're the biggest villain in comics.
There needs to be a documentary called WB is Their Own Worst Enemy, and I want to see all the behind the scenes stories, Dion. I want to see it all.
They're the biggest villain ever, man. Like,
Yeah.
Can we get a movie
Terrible.
on that or a documentary? Can we make a documentary on Netflix or what's the other? What's the
Dude,
streaming
say-
channel that they own besides Max? Don't
Max. Yeah.
they own the Tubi? Put it on Tubi or something. I don't know.
Dude
Let me watch it
shows
for
up
free.
with a giant WB emblazoned across his chest.
WB man.
Can we make a documentary? But yeah, listen, ladies and gentlemen, bottom line is this. We're looking forward to seeing where this goes. They have my attention. They have all of our attention. They have my curiosity. I'm looking forward to seeing where this goes. I like the new cast at least of the Superman front as concerned, because we don't know about the other stuff yet. Because none of the projects have been released yet. Let me just put it to you that way. We have a lot of casting. Some of the casting's been announced, but not everything. So all we can do is wait and hope. That's all we can do.
One quick note also, the people who were in Creature Commandos are going to reprise their roles in live action as well. They've already said that.
Yeah.
Oh, so I guess they might show up
Yay.
in something that I'm not familiar with yet. Okay. Johnny Dome says Matt Damon as Wildcat. Do we think Matt Damon is too old to play Wildcat, though?
He's supposed to be old.
I mean,
Is he supposed to be old?
Yeah.
Yeah, he was a veteran
Boxer.
and trained
veteran
Black
boxer?
Canary.
Jason Wildcat Bourne. So
Okay. Do you want to see Matt? I mean, Matt Damon. I wouldn't mind seeing him in the DCU. He played a ripoff of
actually,
he played a ripoff of Loki in that play in Thor 3. So
I think if Ben Affleck would come back and he wasn't going to be Batman, he could probably be good as Wildcat.
He could.
Well, he did do not the boxing movie, but that redemption basketball movie, The Way Back. Did you guys see that?
Mm-hmm.
I can see him doing that.
I saw that.
You ever see that? It's a good movie. You should look it up. It's a good one. But yeah, well, I got to tell you, folks, Superman is out in the world of theaters. It'll be on digital HD and Blu-ray not too long from now, because as we all know, a movie can be in theaters for 45 days and then automatically it just goes streaming or physical media.
They already announced it today.
What's that?
They already announced it today. August 26th.
August 26th is when the Blu-ray comes out?
No, it's on digital. It'll be on HBO Max.
Wow, that was fast.
Really?
Yep.
Remember, there's only a 45-day window, Dion. It's a 45-day window.
You're killing me, man. Like, anyway.
Sorry. I didn't mean to kill you, Dion. I'm sorry.
No, it's just wild to think that that's how quick a movie like that will be available to stream at home with a subscription.
They don't let movies have legs.
Legally, the rules of movie cinema standards say that a movie can be in theaters for 45 days and then it's eligible to be streamed or put on physical media.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, 45 days? That's not even like 2 months.
And that's why box office numbers are down, because most people are like, meh.
Well, the good news is
for streaming. So
the good news is Superman has made so much money that it has surpassed Man of Steel's box office record. So I know, Dustin, it's not what you wanted to hear, but just because a movie makes more money than another, you can't account for quality. It's not. This is just the quantity. It's not about the quality. We all know that.
Reaching for the gentleman Jack on the other side of that camera right now.
Yeah. Well, Johnny Dome says wanted Marky Mark Wildcat, but he keeps saying he doesn't want to do it and become a superhero because of the movie and wear tights. Dude, you've worn tights in like 5 other movies. Get out of here. Not sure if my previous comment went through or not, but the connection is not so well here. Thanks for having me on the show, Ryan. It was a pleasure meeting all of you.
Oh, right.
Brian, even though your internet is not the best, we appreciate you being here all the same. And Brian, I want you to hear this loud and clear. You're more than welcome to come back here and talk about DC, Marvel, Star Wars, anything to your heart's content anytime, brother. In the words of that movie, you're one of us, one of us, one of us. Come on, guys, say it with me.
One of us, one of us.
There's your Wolf of Wall Street. Rocking Your Bald says it's quality. No, just because the movie made a lot of money doesn't mean it's the greatest thing of all time. But I will say, if we're ranking the Superman live action movies today, Superman 2025 is right behind Man of Steel for me. Man of Steel is still the cream that rises to the top. Oh, yeah. The cream of the crop. Henry Cavill for president. Oh, yeah. So Man of Steel is number 1. Superman 2025 is my number 2. And then, what is it called? Superman 2, the Richard Lester cut is my number 3.
Richard Donner.
Well, for me, I prefer the Lester cut because the Lester cut has the iconic line, General, would you care to step outside? That's a badass mother effer right there. So just because of that, that's why I like the Richard Lester cut more. I like the Donner cut, I do, but I like the Lester cut slightly more than the Donner cut. And by the way, anytime he says no before Zod, I mean it's great. It's great. Terrence Stamp hamming it up, Dustin. He's hamming it up. But that's my number 3. What else? Rocking Your Bald says I'm wrong about what I just said. Sorry, I don't think I am. Johnny Jones.
It's my show, so you
just
can
mainly because stunts in a Brooklyn like accent. Oh God, I don't know what you're referring to, Johnny Jones. But those are my thoughts. Well, final question, and then I'll ask you to plug your social medias. Nem, favorite iteration of Superman in the comics, favorite iteration of Superman in the TV series, whether it's live action or animated, and then favorite iteration of Superman in the movies. Go. Rapid fire.
Favorite iteration of Superman in the comics is from Kingdom Come. Favorite iteration of Superman in the movies. I'm gonna go back to the aforementioned Donner cut Superman 2. Love that. Favorite iteration of Superman on TV. I'm gonna split this one. Animated is Superman the animated series.
Tim Daly.
Yep, Tim Daly. And then on the small screen, I gotta go back to something I watched on reruns, but it's George Reeves, 1950s. So
okay, respect. All right, man, I respect that. The man in the black, not so much a yellow hat. Sorry, that's an expression from my childhood. The man in the yellow hat said this. You remember that? Does anyone remember that book series with the man in the yellow hat?
Yep.
Curious George.
Curious George.
Yeah.
Curious little monkey. Come on, guys. Sing it. Dustin, you wear a hat better than I ever could, but I got to ask you, favorite iteration of Superman within the comic books, favorite iteration of him in the TV series, the movies, and then, go for it. Rapid fire.
Comic books, I would say probably either for all seasons or all-star. Were pretty high up there for me. Kingdom Come, still lots of respect, but Alex Ross's art is so phenomenal. But yeah, and then for movie, Man of Steel.
There you go.
And the animation, I'd say Tim Daly, but also Smallville, because that's my jam. Yep.
I'm willing. Well, it's all good. I could be in the minority that says season 7 is his favorite season. It's okay. I mean, hey, Laura Vandervoort took my heart, and she took it. She stole it from me.
Yeah.
She ran away with it. I'm sorry. It's the truth. And I've met her twice. Very nice woman. Unfortunately, she's getting married in the next couple of weeks, so I can't marry her now, but I'm happy for her. Well done, Laura. Congratulations. So happy for you. Paul Landry. Good God. Favorite iteration of Superman in all forms of media. What do you got?
So, comics, obviously, I agree with Kingdom Come. That's my favorite.
So good.
And just when he comes back and at the bridge, and the actual narration of that, where he's changes course like a mighty river, and I'm just like, like I said, man, I'm a big mush. Movies, Superman, the motion picture, just Christopher Reeve. And as far as animation, the Fleischer comics, which I can watch. I mean, they hand drew all of those. They did. It was perfect.
And they still hold up.
And they really do.
Yeah,
they really do.
They got a digital HD remaster version out now, don't they?
Yep.
I
heard Blu-ray or like a high definition. It's got to be a high definition version of it, I think. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a remastered version.
And because I'm a shameless self promoter, every Christmas I post on my Facebook, the YouTube. We did my fellow voice actors and we did a Superman radio play that was based on the radio show, which is actually based on the best Twilight Zone episode ever, called Night of the Meat with Art Carney as a drunk. And I post it on every Christmas on Facebook. I do. Jason and I wrote it just in like 2016, just because we were bored. And I said, "Hey, have you seen this Twilight Zone episode?" He says, "Yeah, I love that one, and I watch it every Christmas." And I said, "Well, I want to do something with Superman, where the kids are writing letters to Superman instead of Santa Claus, and Superman decides he's going to do something about it. And he enlists Bruce Wayne to help him, not Batman, Bruce Wayne, because he's rich. And they need some additional help, so they get Billy Batson to come and help deliver presents as Captain Marvel. And so that's another one that I like, even though it's not canon.
Oh, that's great. Wow.
Look at all this history we're learning tonight. Lots of history here. And I respect it too, because listen, I may be a diehard Superman fan, but that doesn't mean I know everything. I really don't. I'm just learning as we go along. Dion and I are learning as we go along. It happens. But Dion, you're getting very good at studying and passing the quizzes and taking notes and writing all this shiznit down, even though I probably should, but I don't because I'm too lazy to pick up a pen and paper because I prefer to type my thoughts, not like physically write them because my handwriting is atrocious. But I'm just curious, though. Do you have a favorite iteration of the Man of Steel in film, maybe television series, or even comics that you want to speak of?
I do. So for comic wise, I like Superman a lot more when he's with Batman. So any
World's
Superman,
finest, world's
Batman,
finest.
Yes.
yeah, in that Public Enemies, I'm here for that any day of the week.
Oh.
Even like the way they're drawn is so like comic booky superhero, like muscles on top of muscles. I was like, that's how I'll read this one. TV is always going to be like my definitive one is the animated series, Justice League and Justice League Unlimited.
Oh.
Yeah.
What
I
Tim
lump them all in
Daly
the
and
same.
then
Yep.
yeah, Tim Daly and George Newbern. Like I didn't
George
even know.
Newbern.
Like
Yeah.
the voices were so similar.
Yeah,
I didn't
very
even as a
similar.
kid, I had no clue. We changed.
We didn't think of that
but-
either. Yeah.
But that's like definitive Superman for me.
Super.
I always think back to like one episode where he goes back for Christmas
Mhm.
and he takes Martian Manhunter back with him. I think it's a Justice
Yeah,
League
yeah.
Oh, is that what that was?
Yeah,
That's
and he
great.
takes Martian Manhunter back with him. And just to know how like Clark Kent is, like when he's at home, he's under the tree trying to look through presents, and he looks through it with his X-ray. He's like, lead. So they wrapped him in lead so he couldn't look into the present. I was like, that's the best. That's Superman. Like and he hugs Batman like on the regular. Like and Batman's not here for it. So that's that's the best Superman for me. Movie wise, I mean, obviously I'll say like Superman 1, like the movie, that's gonna be less seared into my mind, but I like Cavill, man. I wish he would have got a shot, but
Yep, should have got
Cavill is more. Cavill's like a kid on a team who has like all the potential in the world, but he has a bad coach, and he never and you never get to see him get that peak, like what he could
Win
be
that
because the
Super
coach
Bowl.
is bad.
Yeah, get the brass ring.
Yeah, so that was my movie,
Yeah.
but yeah, TV was always that animated, man. I love that.
That's a valid point. Valid point. Wow, you made some good picks here, guys. I got to tell you, I love it. I like it a lot. There's a Jim Carrey reference for you because I grew up on Jim Carrey movies. What's up? Really? Anyway, yeah, I did. So when it comes to Superman, like I said, I didn't become a fan of I liked the character growing up. I did because I watched the Christopher Reeves and all the other stuff. And I did watch the Fleischer cartoons. I just want to let you guys know that I've seen the Fleischer cartoons. Like I've seen them. I know the footage. But I didn't really become a Superman fan until 2006 when I saw 100th episode of Smallville, Dustin. That is when it just sunk in, and I'm like, this character is so relatable. It's not even funny.
Mm-hmm.
I can feel his anger. I can feel his pain. I can feel his anguish. I feel it. I feel it, brother. So yeah, when it comes to Superman, my favorite Superman movie, at least for now, because like I said, if I watch Superman 2025 a couple more times, it'll grow on me a little bit. Maybe it'll take the top spot. I don't know. It's too soon to tell. And I don't want to call that bluff. But I'm going to say Man of Steel is still my favorite Superman movie because Crow and Kevin Costner give Oscar-worthy performances. I think Diane Lane is incredible as Ma Kent. I think she's incredible.
Yep.
Limited screen time, but she makes a huge impact.
So fantastic.
Huge impact. When she says, when you were growing up, I used to watch you when you were sleeping, and I watched you breathe, and I thought like something may happen to you or whatever. And now that you found out who your parents are, I'm afraid they may take you away from me. And he says, I'm not going anywhere, Mom. I promise. See, that is heart-to-heart shiznit, brother.
Right. So
Tell
like when she said, the world's too big, Mom. And she's like,
make it small.
Well, make it small.
Oh.
And it's just like, yes, thank you.
The flashbacks is like I said, I wasn't a Zack Snyder fan going into the movie. I liked 300, but I didn't love a lot of his other stuff. Watchmen is one of the most depressing movies of all time. But when I watched Man of Steel, I was like, oh my God, Zack Snyder, dude, you took Superman in a direction I didn't think you could take, and you made it very, very good to me. Superman, very, very good to me. Man of
Can I
Steel,
say there's
very,
one joke? There's one joke that I've seen on the internet where
which one is it?
There's one joke I've seen where it's a reference back from Man of Steel.
Yeah.
Where they use the squirrel in
God.
place of Pa Kent. like where Kevin Costner was telling him not to come get him.
My
They put the squirrel there.
With the twister scene.
That's great.
Oh
That's
God.
fantastic.
Woo. Okay.
I love
Okay.
it.
Walk into a tornado.
Can someone
Yes.
send me, can you do me a favor? Can you do me a favor? Send me the DM of the picture of the meme so I can send it to Dustin and Nee.
Oh, let me see if I can find it. It's hilarious.
Dude, text it to me so I can send it to all three of you guys. I'm going to text it to you. But here's the deal. To take things serious for a minute, in the words of professional wrestler Lance Storm, if I could be serious for a minute, my favorite iterations of Superman in film is Man of Steel because Henry Cavill should have been president. He should have gotten his own trilogy, and he never got it. He never got it. The other stuff doesn't count. Man of Steel counts, but everything else is just cannon fodder. And it wasn't his fault either. There are certain things I like about other of the other films in the Zack Snyderverse, but Man of Steel is the cream of the crop. Yeah. Plus, I like the references to Wayne Enterprises when they break the satellite in outer space, Dustin. That was so good. You know, this was my pitch to Warner Brothers. I said, Warner Brothers, if you're going to make a Batman versus Superman movie, this is why I want you to have the first interaction between Bruce Wayne and Clark Kent. I want Bruce Wayne to be the detective that he is, walk up to Clark and say, Clark Kent, you owe me a satellite.
Right.
You should have said that. That would have been $1 million gold right there. Booyah.
Yep.
I can write a better script than half the people in Hollywood. But anyway, not to toot my own horn, I just published my first short story. What's up? But favorite iteration of Superman on television? Smallville. Got to go with Smallville. Although I do have a soft spot for Dean Cain and Terry Hatcher because I've had a crush on her for 32 years.
Yeah.
And by the way, she's real and she's spectacular.
Nice.
All right.
Seinfeld
That's who
callback.
Terry Hatcher is, man. It's great. See what I did there, guys? See what I did there?
Yes.
And she booked that role right before she was Lois Lane. It's insane that she was Jerry's girlfriend for 2 minutes before she was Lois Lane on Lois and Clark, Dion. It is a fact.
Yeah. And the fact that there's Superman memorabilia everywhere in his apartment.
Oh,
yeah,
he's a big
it's like,
fan.
And Terry Hatcher can see that. She can see that in the background and on the fridge, right? Isn't there a super magnet on the fridge, Dustin? So it's like it was destiny that she was meant to be on that episode. And then 2 minutes later, less than a year or two later, she's in Lois and Clark. So it's like, I can't believe that was an accident. You know, it's just so good. Anyway, favorite iteration is Smallville, and then favorite animated iteration of Superman is, I mean, I like all the stuff he's been in, but my favorite is the Batman Superman movie from which was the crossover between Superman the Animated Series and the New Adventures of Batman.
Oh, that was so good.
If you guys know what I'm talking about, do you guys know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
It's the movie where they team up and go up against Joker, aka Mark freaking Hamill, the Legend, and Clancy Brown, who can be anybody and play anything, as Lex Luthor. All right, Chrome Dome, what's the plan? You know. And by the way, Mercy Graves beating the crap out of Harley Quinn, and they have a ringer. You know, they have some cat fights in this.
Yeah.
Dude, imagine if Zack Snyder would have pulled the trigger on an adaptation of that movie, Dion. Imagine.
Yeah, just Batman, like, once Superman saved him and Lois, he pushed him off. And then he called for the Batwing. Like, you just saw, like, the glimmer in the sky.
Yeah.
And then Batman just pulls out his grappling hook. And it catches, and he just flies off. That's it. Like he said nothing. No, thank you. No, nothing. He's like, just get off me. I got my own ride. And here it comes.
That's a fun thing that could have happened. The other thing is, and someone posted this on Instagram. I don't know if you guys saw this the other day, but someone quoted the two words "world's finest." It was the clip where Clark or Superman and Batman fight in the club when Batman's interrogating, Joker's former henchman, and he shows him the little piece of kryptonite, the little piece. You remember that? And then he throws it into the alcoholic drink, and then immediately he disappears. And Superman's like, "What the? Where did this guy go?" And then when he goes home and gets on the phone with Lois Lane, then he notices that something's going on. He sees the tracking device in his pants, and Batman is like 200-300 yards away, Dion, and he's like, and then Superman's like, touche.
Yeah, that's good.
Why
that's good interaction.
We get that? Why couldn't we get that in the Snyderverse? Would have been awesome. I would have paid money, Dustin. I would have paid money.
Yeah.
Anyway. That's my favorite iteration of Superman when it comes to, my favorite iteration for the comic books is Kingdom Come, because if it weren't for Kingdom Come, I wouldn't be the comic book fan I am today. And I had the pleasure and privilege of meeting and interviewing Mark Waid on this show, and I quote.
Nice.
I interviewed him. You should go back and watch the tape. I'll send you guys the links. You go back and watch the footage. Mark Waid, great job. Kingdom Come is the Mac Daddy of them all, and Alex Ross can do no freaking wrong. Which, by the way, I don't know. Alex Ross never does appearances, but if he does, I like to meet Alex Ross and just say thank you for making comic books great. So,
yeah.
I mean, that's what I would say to him, Dustin. I don't know how you would feel about that, but you know. I'd tell him a few things. Be like, I pull Wayne's World on him. I'm not worthy. You know.
Right.
Yeah, we'd all probably do that if we saw him at San Diego Comic-Con roaming around.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Dion and I would be the only ones wearing an an ASF shirt. So it's like,
well, we gotta get those Joker jackets. Remember?
Oh, dude, yeah. Because I didn't know if you guys knew this or not. So to bring you guys in before we wrap this up, Dion, myself, and who else were we discussing this with? Do you remember?
Who else was on with us? I can't remember.
I think it was me, you. Was it Jen? And I think maybe what? I can't remember.
It was for the '89 rewatch or something, right?
We did the '89 watch along because the movie turned 35 years. Batman '89 turned 35 years last year, and we all said to each other, you know what? One of our goals for going to Dragon Con, I think it was Dragon Con, right?
Yeah.
Is to walk in there with the purple Joker jackets, with pairs of Ray-Bans or whatever pair of shades we can get our hands on, because you can buy shades anywhere. You can get them anywhere. And I want somebody, even if it has to be me, growing out my facial hair like this and having a boombox. And I want someone to play the Joker, standing in front of us, Dustin, and say the magic words. Gentlemen, let's broaden our minds.
Just playing Party Man.
And we got Prince's Party Man playing on the boombox as we're walking through the crowd, walking through the crowd of Dragon Con, Atlanta, Georgia.
Yes. And you also have to strategically place
some
pieces of art at different places.
And we have to. I don't know if the convention security is going to let us bring this in, Dion, but we need cans of spray paint. So
yeah. So
you'd be surprised.
Can we bring spray paint?
You'd be surprised. All they do is check badges. Honestly,
all right. Know. Well, if they don't check my bag, then I can bring some cans of spray paint from work, and we can just use it.
Our last Dragon Con, right?
It might be our last Dragon Con, but we'll make it memorable, right? We'll get it on film. We'll have one of our friends be our filmographers. But that's one of our goals for going to Dragon Con is to cosplay as Joker's henchman or somebody dressing up as the Joker leading us into the convention hall, and we do the whole party man scene, and we have a girl wearing a blue dress, and we look at her and say, "You can take that off now, I think." Ooh, beautiful, in an old-fashioned kind of way. But I'm sure we can make you more today. Is that your portfolio? I'm leading someone who wants to see my work. Crap. Ah, now that's good work. You would also go, I don't know if it's art, but I like it. Anyway, aside from the fact that Ryan really likes Batman '89 and can quote it verbatim to all of you, including you who are watching and listening to this broadcast right now, I'm going to do us all a great favor and say thank you to each and every single one of you for joining us on this wild and crazy ride about Superman 2025 and what we think and speculate is going to happen with the DCU moving forward for the next 10 to 15 years of our lives, should it last that long under James Gunn's leadership. We don't know. It's too soon to tell. Yeah. But bottom line is this: Superman is back. We are excited about it. We're happy about it. We need the hope. The world is a messed up and cruel place right now, and we all need a symbol of hope, and we got it. With David Cornsweet, Rachel Brosnahan, and company, mind you, leading the charge. And David, if I see you on the street, you and I are going to have some words because I want to congratulate you, my friend. Rachel, if I see you, I'm going to ask for your phone number. We're going to go out. We're going to have a great time, great discussion. I'm going to tell you how great you are as Lois Lane. That's what I'm going to do. Respectfully, I'm going to be a gentleman because I learned from the best. With that being said, thank you for joining us for the spoiler-heavy review of Superman 2025. If you get a chance to see the movie, let us know what you thought about it in the comments. If you haven't seen it yet and you've been watching this for the last so-and-so hours of your life, you've just been spoiled. So there you go. Nem, my good friend, my new best friend. If someone wants to know more about you and the crazy stuff you got going on over there, where can they follow you?
Real easy everywhere. X, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. I'm at Nemesis FC2. Go check it out. And I'm moving to a new publisher, which is why I don't have any links, but that will be coming out as well. So I'm getting a new publisher for my books and comics and everything. So that is coming. So that's where you can find it.
Wish you all the best of luck with that, good sir. Real quick though, since you're wearing the shirt, favorite Ninja Turtle and favorite line from the original movie.
Oh, wow. Favorite Ninja Turtle is Leonardo. And you know what? It is late and I haven't eaten dinner yet. So I'm going to pass on the favorite quote because my brain is blanking right now. So
Pizza Dude's got 30 seconds. All right, man. There you go. That's your favorite one right there. Dustin, my man. If someone wants to know more about you and the crazy stuff you got going on over there. And by the way, Master of the Thunder Nerds, that's a play on word if I ever heard one. I have the power. But if someone wants to know more about you, where can they follow you?
Masters of the Thunder Nerds, at gmail.com. We have a link tree, all that out there. At Masters of the Thunder Nerds on Instagram. That's where I mainly am at. You can see me on the Madness round and all that good stuff. So I'm not a stranger.
Sounds good, man. Well, congratulations. Wish you all the best with things moving forward. And we're going to have you back here again real soon. So stay tuned, Dustin.
Sounds good.
I think this is the beginning of a beautiful friendship. So stay tuned, brother. Paul Landry, if someone wants to know more about you, where can they follow you?
Yeah, they can follow me on Facebook, just Paul Landry, and Instagram, Paul.Landry. And Return of the Crimson Howl is on sale right now on Amazon, or you can go on to Airship 27 and pick it up there. If you are in the Atlanta area and are going to Dragon Con, you can come see me and some very talented voice actors on Saturday. That would be on the 30th at 8:30 in the Hyatt. We will be performing the Golden Age Action Hour, the works of Joe Simon and Jack the King of Comics Kirby. It's an adaptation of their three of their lesser-known heroes, the Vagabond Prince, the Black Owl, and the Blue Bolt. That's used with permission from the Joe Simon estate. So we're very excited about that. This is the third episode that we're doing for the third year in a row. So come and see us there and buy my book.
Say it once, say it twice. Third time's a charm. Third time's a charm at Dragon Con, man.
Buy my book. Buy my book.
Exactly. That's a movie waiting to happen. But thanks for being here, kind sir.
I hope so. The rights are for sale. That's what I always tell people.
Gee willikers. We wish you the best of luck with everything and stay tuned. Well, we're going to have you back real soon. Good sir known as Dion, it's been a hot minute since you've been here. You've been so busy. You've got new studios, new decorations, new lights, new merchandise, which I really like that shirt. And you got a new addition to the family. You got your own iteration of Kal-El where the parents don't die in the beginning of the story, which is great because you guys are going to live on for millennia and millennia and millennia.
Or tell them to go take over the world.
Exactly. You're going to take over the world, just like Jarrell wanted you guys to. But no, in all sincerity, though, congratulations on the studio.
Appreciate it.
The family, all that stuff. I'm so happy for you. But if someone wants to know more about you, where can they follow you and your incredible podcast?
Yeah, All-Star Fandom Show on Instagram and also on YouTube as well. Weekly show every Wednesday at 9:05, like the Superstation, 9:05 Eastern.
I understood
that. Yeah. So we go through fandom stuff that are pretty much trending news that's happening right now, and then we have like a fun sort of game at the end where we're ranking or doing some fantasy casting or some stuff like that. So just celebrating all the fandoms, we debate, we celebrate, and all that stuff. So also a wrestling podcast. If you have fun with that, I'm on there on Kayfabe Podcast on Thursdays at 9. Is part of Women's Wrestling Talk on their YouTube channel as well. So yeah, I'm a little bit of everywhere here. Brian, thanks for having me back. But yeah, All-Star Fandom Show everywhere that you follow anything. That's where we are.
Congratulations, man. You got a lot of irons in the fire. Good God. Doing that show and the Kayfabe show, which I've seen clips of, by the way, on your feed. That's it's impressive. There's a lot going on in wrestling right now. Networks are buying up WWE, ESPN.
Tell me about it
now. Yeah.
Yeah, they're selling off and buying everything. So we'll see.
Superstars are coming in and out of the woodwork. Some are coming back and getting hazed. I mean, Becky Lynch with that promo on Nikki, but good God.
Yeah, that was tough.
That was a great promo, though. That was a great promo. Becky Lynch just laid into her, man.
No, that was rough. But no, like we talk that every week, and it's sort of just do the fandom stuff, right? We talk and speculate what we usually do and what we might see coming around the corner. So yeah, we just have fun. That's all.
Well, John might not be able to see her, but at least they can see you and see your podcast. So that's well done. See what I did there? Giving you kudos, man, because you've earned it. Thank you, sir, for being here. My name is Ryan of Anti-Quote Channel. Follow me across all social media at Anti-Quote Channel. That's where you can catch all our shows, all our past shows, all the wonderful things we got going on over there. Movie watch-alongs are typically on Friday nights at 7 p.m. Eastern. The flagship show, Anti-Quote, where we interview some of the best indie creators from all over the world. And a lot of these guys have been on the show already, or if they haven't, we're going to get you guys on. It's going to be a lot of fun. That's on Saturdays, 12 p.m. Eastern. So lots of great things coming your way. Movie watch-alongs are going to be going on for a very, very long time. Lots of great programming. Stick around. You're going to enjoy it. I hope you enjoy it. Embrace the nerd within you is what we do here. Congratulations, everybody. Congratulations to the panelists. Thank you all for being here. Do not forget to like, comment, share, subscribe, ring the bell to be notified when the videos go up or to go live. And congratulations to the entire cast and crew of Superman 2025 for giving us a renewed sense of hope. And we look forward to seeing what the DCU is going to bring us in the future.